It happened. I'm gonna trust you that it happened
Oh, are
this
we
time.
actually on now?
Hello, we are.
Oh, hi.
Hi, friends. Welcome to round 2 of vampires, but we're changing the flavor of vampires this time because we all know there's many flavor of vampire. Specifically, we are playing a system called Oops All Draculas, which I backed on Kickstarter, got ages ago, and have never gotten to actually play it yet. So this is my first time GMing this system, my first time GMing anything that is not D&D 5th edition. So
Really?
bear with, yes,
Oh,
bear with me. Appreciate you letting me have a chance to experiment. If anyone's curious about the game, the creator of it is Jessica Markram. That's probably backwards. But anyways, you could look it up. It's on the internet. Oops, all Draculas. Think rather than a lot of vampire tabletop systems that lean into the more dark and like gritty and maybe violent, as well as like sensual side of vampires. Think this is more like what we do in the shadows vibes. A bit more lighthearted, a bit more silly. Still has a lot of the classic vampire tropes that we all know and love, and it is a D6 based system. We have one player who you'll recognize because she was in the previous game, but our other players joining us today want to quickly go around and you can introduce yourself and your character. We'll just do camera order to start with Dustin.
oh, hi, I'm Dustin. I'm going to be playing Kieran. If you're trying to picture what Kieran looks like, think of like a cross between David from Schitt's Creek and Rolled from Letterkenny. That's kind of the vibe that I'm going for with that. He's a wonderful little bean of a vampire, and don't worry, there should be still plenty of sensualness, probably, maybe.
Yes. Next, we'll just go to circle. So, Ash, you're next. Oh, you're
And you're
muted.
muted. So good
Classic.
start. Good start.
I'm still getting used to my push to talk, so I'm very sorry about that. Hi, I'm Ash. You know me as Zelixicraft on TikTok and all the socials. I'm also a player on Wheel and Woe with the Grimforge. So, yeah, excited to be here. This is my third year with Tails and their Pride stream, and I'm super excited for everything. Hopefully, we can accomplish a lot and have some sexy vampire times.
And
Oh, and I will be playing Kiara. Sorry, totally forgot to actually mention the character. So yeah, very similar to Kieran. Imagine like Alexis from Schitt's Creek. I will be playing the techno vampire.
and Mika, you're
Hi,
next.
I'm Mika. I do things. I'm the co-creator of the Crit Award nominated channel Roll D5.
Ooh.
Um, I'm also on lots of other places. You may also recognize me as the guy who chugged half a bottle of wine during the last. Maybe it wasn't the last one, but during a tail stream like 7, 8 months ago. That's probably not
Yes.
going to happen this time. Today I'm playing a
The
Zaddy
whole
vampire.
bottle.
It was half the bottle I chugged. Today
No,
it's
this
going to
time
be
it's the
three
whole
quarters
bottle.
of a bottle.
Okay.
The whole bottle. Okay. Yeah, if we get the $300 donation, I will
Oh,
attempt to chug the whole bottle.
donation, not total, because we're currently sitting at 226 raised. You mean a 300 donation or $300 raised total? Just to be clear.
A donation, 300,
Okay,
not
gotcha.
total. That's two. If we get to I don't know, $500 on this stream, then yes, I will
Although if we do that
attempt.
early and he
Yeah,
does it right away, like that could change the whole flow of the stream, guys. So
it could.
that could
That'd
be
be kind
fun.
of. I'll be a drunk Zaddy.
And
I'm playing a Nosferatu.
your donations will impact the game, by the way. We'll get to that in a minute. Aside from just potentially making Mika drink very responsibly. Um, this is a D6 based system. Like I said, it is operating on 5s and 6s. On the dice, when they roll, will be successes. Obviously, the harder a task, the more successes they need. There are consequences for failure. And we've decided today all the players are cool with any donation of any size. Put in your donation message in the Tiltify campaign. You can give or remove a D6 either from a specific player or just for the next check, and that could include checks I make as the GM. So you could say Kiara gets a D6 on their next check, or you could just say next player can only roll 1d6, etc. Obviously, smaller donations of any amount, it is 1d6. You can choose to add or remove. If it's a larger donation, then you can maybe add more than one. You can make some more shenanigans happen. Obviously, we'd appreciate the size of the donation impacting the level of chaos you're trying to inflict. Like, if you want to be like, I want to give someone 4d6s to roll, that's going to maybe, a bit more than $1 would be nice, No hard and fast rules, though. We're just here to raise some money for a great cause. While we wait for Mel to get back, I will set the scene for all of y'all.
I forgot to self-promote. Am I allowed to still go back?
Oh, of course, yeah.
I'm the DM for Tales for Sunset over Vengalia. I was so excited about being a vampire and being a player, I forgot. So yeah, we're getting ready to have our 100th episode on July 3rd. So you'll want to make sure to check that out for us. We're going to have some giveaways and some awesome stuff that's going to be really new and exciting. But Sunset over Vengalia, we're getting ready for our 100th stream. Mel's in the stream with me and plays a beloved character that I'm not going to kill, I promise, this week.
The fear, the immediate fear.
Don't mind me, I'm not here.
If you would like, Mel, even though you're not here, feel free to introduce yourself and your character that you'll be playing today before we jump into things.
Y'all sick of me yet at home? Hi, everybody.
Never.
Not you, Dustin. So, hi. In case any of you are new, I was just in the previous game, but now I'm on this one. I'm Mel, otherwise known as Figuring It All Out. Y'all can find me here on Tales of Initiative, where on Wednesdays I'm part of Dustin's game of Sunset over Vengalia. I make guest appearances every once in a while, and our other friend, Took, for his stream of Took, I Guess, where I've done some Vampire the Masquerade before. And I also do some Patreon stuff that we cannot tell you all yet, so shh. It's
very
it's
exciting.
That's our spicy content.
No. It's not. Well,
one kind of spicy.
It might. That's tentative, so it's. But y'all can find me on the socials of Just Figuring It All Out, and then I'm here, and y'all can see my face, and I'm just here every week on Wednesdays. So.
And your character for today?
Oh yeah, that part, the important part.
I did the same thing.
I'm playing Esther, who is actually the sentimentalist out of all of the different classes of vampires. Excuse me for this game. Not dying.
Not dying at all.
I did not name my. I'm playing Limoncello. That is the name of my Nosferatu. Of
Limoncello.
Yep.
My sexy Dracula. Yeah.
Zaddy vampire.
Yes.
Alrighty.
My zaddy vampire.
And to set the scene for both our players and y'all at home, this game is taking place in current day. Technically, it's taking place in the future. I guess taking place in Halloween of 2024, which hasn't happened yet. So technically, in the future, in a Gothic revival style mansion that happens to be located in the city of Toronto, and everyone who lives there knows this house. The spooky one down the block. Dark windows, hardly anyone goes in or out, except maybe a strange-looking figure dressed, well, oddly would be a charitable word. There's often a lot of animals outside. Your parents, you or your partner, your neighbors all complain about how the inhabitants never look after their rubbish properly. That must be accounting for all the cats and possums and raccoons, the occasional coyote. You're not sure. Whenever you walk by, you feel like you're being watched, or sometimes followed. Like some presence is just behind you, beckoning you to enter, but you don't dare. Most Halloweens, people instinctually stay away from this house. The occasional kids dare each other to ring the doorbell, throw a rock at the window, maybe some toilet paper, but no one ever actually does. Everything about the house screams outsiders. Until this year, when you see signs for a party. The residents of this house have decided to open their doors, and maybe it's time they stopped isolating themselves and they become a part of the neighborhood rather than just an odd eccentricity of it. And they are opening their doors for their first ever, maybe annual Halloween party. The goal that they have in mind is to maybe make some friends, maybe make this mysterious and kind of negative reputation, tip it a bit more towards the positive side, and have a great time. Throw a kick-ass party. Our players have a map of the house for a rough layout. And for your reference, players, these are the activities / setup I have already put in the house, and then I'm going to ask you if there's anything you want to add to your list of Halloween activities or decoration or food and things. And before I do that, it looks like we've just gotten $100 donation. So now there's less than $200 to Mika having to chug that wine.
Uh-oh.
It does
Not
not
gonna
have a
happen.
donation message, but I believe it was Billy. Billy, if it was you and you want to give, for when the time comes, some D6s or take away some D6s to a character's roll, feel free to do so. Let me also realize, I should pull up my image of the house. That would help, wouldn't it? So I can make sure I'm describing this accurately when I tell it to you guys. How's
Billy's
that
just
for
trying to get me to take my shirt off.
So on the ground floor level of your house, that's the image that has like the room and like the northeast corner has like that purple carpet. The ones in the middle have that like red patterned carpet. That image. You have so the house has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I probably miscounted, but around at least 10 rooms on the ground floor. All your bedrooms are upstairs. And right now that southern, like the southwest most room, it's like an octagonal shape. There's kind of like a little tower on one end of the house there. That is like a dining room area. That is where you have your snacks laid out for the party. Since you are having non-vampire guests, you do have food for non-vampires at this party. At the moment, you have lady fingers that were painted to look like actual fingers. You have bleeding heart cupcakes, or just vanilla cupcakes with like a bloody red icing, and there's like a filling in the middle that's like a red, some sort of like berry jelly, but that does ooze out when you bite into it, vaguely reminiscent of blood, maybe. There are some little like jello shots, but they are made to look like eyeballs. There are some veggies with a pumpkin seed hummus dip. You have
I do
set up.
have a question.
Yes.
Were there some unfortunate incidents in the past that made us all collectively realize that ladyfingers and eyeball jelly shots, no, those were snacks, not actually, yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure in planning for the party, you maybe did that the first time, and then only through Kieran's minion was he like, "Oh, that's not what I meant," because you asked his opinion for things for this party, being one of the only humans you regularly converse with. And when he said ladyfingers and like, "Oh, jello eyeballs," you were like, "Oh, great," and then had to be told what that actually meant.
It was a real sad first party.
Yeah. And you also have a standing order, so around like 10 p.m. there's going to be a pizza delivery from a local pizza joint. And then drinks that are out, there are like fruit punch kind of drinks in little decorative blood bags. But of course, you guys have real blood bags that look very, very similar. You've made sure all the real ones are kept in the kitchen in the back of the house, but that's what you can be drinking on throughout the night, so that it'll look like you just took one of the like decorative blood bag drinks from the table if you're caught drinking from those throughout the night. And they do have the human ones have spiked fruit punch in them. There is a cauldron with like a dry ice effect that contains a witch's brew, which is kind of just like a jungle juice vibe of lots of just like juices and alcohols poured in there, and then some dry ice to make it look cool. It's kind of like a greeny color. You think that might have been, there was a lot of Baja Blast thrown in there as one of the liquids that was put in there. There's also just some water bottles, and there is a pumpkin that has been hollowed out, and you've put like a beer keg like tap on it, so pumpkin beer. So you hollowed pumpkin, filled it with beer, and then there's red Solo cups people can just put beer in. Is there any other additional snacks or refreshments you would like to add to this, either for yourselves or for your guests?
I feel like deviled eggs.
Fair.
And barbecuing.
Mhm.
Okay. There can be a barbecue on like there's like this wraparound kind of porch around a bunch of the house. Maybe there's barbecue out there. Whose job is it to be in charge of that throughout the party? Who would be the one doing
Obviously
that?
me.
Obviously the dad, grill
the
daddy.
dad, yeah.
I feel like there's also like a charcuterie board, but like it's not really like, instead of slices of cheese, there's a chunk of cheese on it because cheese goes on a charcuterie board. Instead of slices of meat, there's a giant sausage log because, I mean, they just told us what to put on it. They didn't tell us how to stuff it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Love it. So that is in that room of the house. if you're looking at your map. So that like octagonal dining room area, red carpet is like snacky area. The kitchen rooms, they're in like the back left if you're looking at the picture, do have signs that say off limits to guests, because that's where you have like actual blood bags and stuff in them. So you're gonna be wanting to keep an eye out throughout the night. Make sure no mortals end up in there. Other activities you have planned, the room that seems to have like this purple, like rich purple rug in it, and all these like statues, like marble and carved figures and busts. Some of them, most of them are real statues. You had a few statues taken out, and you have hired performers who are the thing where they're like painted to look like a statue, and they stay very, very still until someone's close to them, and then they're going to jump scare people, because this is half party, half haunted house kind of vibe, because you're like, this is how we lean into a lot of our decor and a lot of our vampire things, because this is a 1 day a year, it might fit in. And the rooms, the statues in particular, if you're looking at your image, that are the hired performers, it is that the like southernmost statue, the one kind of towards the front of the room, and then the really big one at the back that looks like it has wings. It's like a winged, it's somewhere between, it's not quite an angel, but it's not quite demonic. It's like up to the viewer to decide whether that statue, does it read angel, does it read demon to you? You don't know. But tonight it's a person. It is not a statue. Normally you do have statues in those parts of your house, but you've like put them in storage for today and have real performers there. You're also welcome. The performers need breaks, like the pedestals would be empty. Welcome to get up on there yourselves. And then other than that, that room also has like dim lighting, some rave lighting. There's a DJ in there. That's like the music dancey part of your party is that room. And then while people are dancing, they might just get a casual jump scare as someone like a statue reaches out and grabs them, which is fun. The lower right room in that bottom right corner, like the one just outside the porch, has a little bit of activity in it that you heard about from Phil. It has these like mystery boxes that are made to look like little coffins, and there's a hole in the side of the coffin that you like reach your hand in, and it says like, can you identify what's in here? And there's like a prize for anyone who can guess all three at the end of the night. And there's things that they're supposed to be, like one of them, they're supposed to guess eyeballs. What they actually are is like grapes that have been peeled. So they reach their hand and they feel these round, squishy like things, but it's peeled grapes. There's one that's supposed to be like intestines, but it's like a chain of sausage links and stuff like that. So there's some like weird little creepy sensory games in that room. And you also have some more of those. There's one more hidden like statue jump scare performer. Those two statues at the very front of the house, like as you enter, the one on the left is a real person, is a hired performer. Other than that, you have some fake bats rigged to occasionally, periodically fly throughout the house. Sometimes it might be real, it might be you. Sometimes it might be you're like, I want to take a minute and stretch my wings since you have the ability to shapeshift. But you also have like some like bats rigged on like some thin fishing wire that will occasionally like fly over fairly low to guests' heads, like maybe freak them out. And the upstairs is off limits because those are your bedrooms. So the guests are only supposed to stay downstairs. Is there anything else you would like to add, even if it's just decoration on the walls? Is there a specific like music you want playing at some point? Like this is, you're in your last minute, before guests come, doors aren't open yet, you're having your final planning session. You're all together being like, are we missing anything? Like
Monster Mash.
On repeat the whole time.
No other music, just that song.
That's it.
Yeah.
That and the Purple People Eater.
I think the only thing for me is I would just like perches kind of scattered throughout the house for my little minion friend, my little Luffy,
Yes.
which I will explain later once we start.
I feel like
he's also welcome to be part of the things that fly low overhead that the guests are meant to believe are fake.
He will love terrorizing everybody,
Yes.
honestly. So
Kiara's just like walking around like, I totally still think we could have afforded the blood sprinklers.
There also are quite a few weapons as like art hung up throughout the house. You have various forms of like katanas, swords, ceremonial daggers. Like there's lots of bladed weapons, axes, hand axes that are like mounted on walls throughout this house that either belong to you personally and you brought over from the old country with you when you came over here, or you also have some old school like muskets, old school pistols. That's the closest thing to a modern weapon, other than just like, there's probably some really fancy kitchen knives in your kitchen. things like that. But like there's no firearms that would be like modern era in your house. Other than that, there's almost pretty much borderline any weapon you could think of, if not mounted on display downstairs in your personal effects upstairs.
I feel like that area that looks like it has like an art easel next to the statue room.
Yes.
I feel like Kieran would have like he'd want to have like body painting. Like you can take home a canvas where you paint your body and then like, do something like that because that's
So
his
that's
art.
your room. Yeah. Like some of those smaller areas, yeah, if you guys have a specific installation or event or activity you wanted, so that's Kieran's. He has a make your own art piece, a body painting area. Oh, and we'll have a midnight costume contest, which all your guests will be told about. And speaking of, describe all your attire for this evening. What have you dressed like for your Halloween party? And then tell me if this is any different from how you would normally dress. Start with Esther.
Oh God, me on the spot.
You can go last if you want.
No, it's okay. In short, no, it's not any different than what she normally wears.
Does it look like the image you sent me? Are you just
Yes,
dressed like
it
that?
does. It's
Perfect.
just like very like big petticoat, like bottom of her dress, and it's like very cinched. Kind of, it's so for lack of a better word, when Esther was turned, she was actually turned when like American Impressionism was starting to be like me not hitting my own mic, starting to really take hold. So you had like paintings of like Van Gogh with like all the not Van Gogh, Claude Monet. I know my artists, I'm great. But you had like Claude Monet for all the landscaping and stuff. At the same time, you had artists like John Sargent, where you had like very elaborate like portrait pieces that were done of women or families or children, men who were like working in the fields and whatnot of like the old country and stuff. It was very big in like the late 1800s, so she's dressed very much like that. So like very cinched waist, a little bit of a corset on top with like frilly shirt and stuff with her hair done up and whatnot. Just very simple.
Gotcha.
Just came right out of a period drama, except she is
Perfect.
the drama. And hi.
Perfect. And you're not dressed up for the occasion. You're just wearing your regular clothes. Kieran, how about yourself?
So Kieran has like the Peaky Blinders style hat. He's got like a big like black like vest sweater with a like a white tie kind of thing that he's wearing under it, so it's kind of visible there, and like black and white pinstripe pants, and then like black and white wingtip shoes. Very 1920s.
Gotcha. Love it. And is that a special ensemble for this evening or no?
Nope. Very much what he would regularly wear, except the sweater is a little less baggy.
Gotcha. Kiara, how about yourself? The youngest of our vampires.
So Kiara is very much trying to like retain like modern day, like, oh yeah, no, I'm from this modern era. So she is dressed kind of like, if anybody saw the Margot Robbie Barbie movie, I'm sorry, I'm blanking right now, but like that like pink kind of cowgirl outfit that she's got with like the pink bandana and like the sparkly pants and like the pink crop top and all, complete with the white cowgirl hat and all that. Just with instead of blonde hair, she has like that long brown hair, and very much like not what she would usually wear, but possibly what she's going to start wearing, because it's very much just like, what era are we in? Okay, this is just what I'm gonna wear now. A lot of her attire comes from like more modern movies and stuff like that. So even though she's very similar age to Kieran, like she more focuses on like, oh yeah, like so whatever movie's coming out next year, that's gonna be her next year's attire and stuff like that. So yeah, that's her. And then in her on top of her hat, like kind of, you ever see like those like hats with like the buckles on the front and all that, instead of like one of those big buckles, she has a big lunar moth just kind of resting on top, well, still enough that it looks like it could just be like painted onto the hat, but if you look closely, every now and then the wing twitches.
Moves. Yep. And Limoncello, what are you wearing to the party? Do you have like a Kiss the Grill Master apron since you're manning a barbecue?
Yeah, so he is first off wearing a cheap Spirit Halloween Dracula costume,
Yes.
uh, which is what he normally wears. So same seas. It's just what he normally wears. And then a Kiss the Cook, but it's got like little vampire things with the lips
Amazing.
that are it's on there. Yeah.
Love it. Well, then you've gathered together in, let's see, which room of your house.
You have
You're
the
gonna
cargo
be
shorts and the white socks pulled up really high.
Yes. So you're gonna be in
Yes.
that room near the snack table where like you see the piano is and stuff, and you're just sitting in like those chairs around that coffee table, couches. You're doing finishing touches on party planning and any last minute questions to each other, ideas, words of advice. Like what would your conversation be looking like in this moment right before you open up your doors?
Dad, it's really important that you don't embarrass us at this party. My art's gonna be on display, okay?
And I'm so proud of your art.
You don't even understand it.
I don't
I'm
think
so-
anyone
Mm.
understands it, dear.
It doesn't matter. I will show the neighbors. The neighbors will be very excited I don't know what this accent is. Um,
The mixture of a lot of
Really?
accents. You're very old. You've
Yes.
had a lot of
They-
time to have a lot of
they were-
accents take place.
they will be very excited to see your art work. I will show them and I will explain how it is about. I do not know what it is about. What is it about again?
That's the point, Dad. It's not for showing off. You don't just show off my art. That's why you don't understand it. God.
I still
I'm
think we
just
could have
so
gotten the
proud.
blood sprinklers. It wouldn't have destroyed your art. It would have added to the art.
Well,
It would have been really hard to clean out of the carpet, though.
Yeah. As you say that, Phil goes, "Yeah, you're telling me." Phil's had to do that a few times for you guys. There's lots of carpets in this house.
Yeah,
Lots of very old carpets.
lots of old rugs.
As you're having this conversation, you're interrupted by a knock at the door, and you know it's a bit early because the party invitations you sent out was like after dusk, like sun goes down, party starts, and it's only like there's still a tiny little sliver of sun. It's not quite time yet, so you're not quite sure who. Either there's some super keener at your door, or this is not a party guest.
I must admit that whoever it is that's at the door, if they are a guest, I am not really appreciative of the fact that they came so early. So I will go address it. You all figure out the whole art situation, and I'll just stand up and just start walking to the door.
As you open the door, first you just see a figure just like barrel in there with like a very large, just kind of like blanket, very heavy blanket like covering them, like hiding from the sun. Some very light steam escaping. It's like if you watch Buffy, any of the time Spike ran in because he had to travel
Yeah.
during the daylight, and he has like the blanket. So it's very like that. And the door slams behind them without anyone touching it. And you hear, "God, it's been so long since I've been out in the sun. That's terrible. Ugh." And you recognize this voice because this is a voice that everyone of your vampire organization is familiar with, and a voice you're very shocked that is here all the way in Toronto, because this is someone who, as far as you know, has never left Europe. This would be the exarch of, as far as you know, all of vampire society. A very old vampire by the name of Casimir. And the one who sent all of you here, I'd say maybe about 100 years ago. I think that works with how old most of you. Well, so not all of you, 2 of you. So we're sent
Yep.
here. And coming in, and then like takes a minute, throws the blanket off, and then tries to like look all dramatic. Realizes his hair is a bit mussed. Fixes the hair. Poses again. Hello.
Casimir, you old son of a bitch. Hello. Pull him in for a big old bear hug, and then whisper in his ear, "I'm going to fucking kill you."
Does
Welcome
not
to the
return.
party.
Does not return the hug. Has a very opposite. Goes, yes, hello. A long time. Pats you and goes, "Well, I'm sure you're surprised to see me. Has been a long time, yes. I decided it had been, centenary of your mission I sent you on, decided time to check on you, and then I heard you're having a party. What better time?
It was more for the neighbors, Casimir, not for you.
Is
Oh,
this what you're
of course.
wearing to the party?
In
Because
terms of what he's wearing, so the blanket he threw off, he does have like a cape attached that has like velvet purple lining on the inside, black on the outside, with a really, really gaudy, like blood red, some
God.
sort of clasp or like brooch. And then he has like a vest that has a very similar pattern to the red patterned carpets in your house. And then like a white flowy shirt. Think like Asterian's white shirt, but then with this vest over top, and then some very, very, very tight black pants, black boots. He, in particular, rather unsurprisingly, pale complexion, has very, very lustrous, shiny, flowy dark hair. Goes to about just past his shoulders. Right now it's tied where it's like a part of it's tied back in a ponytail,
Yeah.
the rest is loose kind of thing. Aquiline nose with a prominent bridge. He is like a relatively thin, like his upper lip is very thin, almost non-existent, but then a like almost disproportionate kind of like thicker lower lips. And he's very, very tall. And he also has he's a big fan of using a little bit of tinted lip balm and a little bit of blush to try and give like a flush of life to his face that he thinks like fools people, like would fool a mortal to making him look more alive. It kind of just looks more like when like a 12-year-old's learning how to apply makeup for the first time. Like they put the blush kind of like here rather than like here and stuff like that.
Oh, this poor baby. It's
Yeah.
this is not going to be okay. You're going to blend in with the flooring. You have to let me help you. You have to let me help shape what you've got going on there.
Kieran, he may very well want you to touch you, dear, because this is Cassian, the reason why Limoncello and I are here.
He's just looking at Kira and goes, "Who is this? I did not send this. Who is this?"
This is about to be your lifesaver, darling, because this is well.
And who the fuck is this?
Limoncello
Don't.
can explain.
Talk to my sister that way. Okay, only I can talk to my sister that way. Trust us, darling. We're trying to help you out here.
What does it matter my clothing when we are just going to have ritualistic murder and feast tonight? It's just going to get dirty anyway.
Oh my god. You
I
can't just
cannot
ritualistically murder the people that we're visiting with.
And it matters because your clothing reflects onto us. So, like,
Yes, we're trying to pass off as normal family here.
Normal? What is this normal family? Why?
You sent us over, and part of the mission to expand our operations includes some interaction, coexistence, if you will, Casimir. We can't
We
go
have bills to
killing
pay.
everyone.
Exactly, we need to blend in so we can pay our bills and
Mhm.
not get run out of the city like an old country, or older country, or old country,
He
or
gets
even
the-
older
he-
old country.
Limoncello, I think he gets it. The
yeah,
point-
we have like a lot of social roots like implanted here, and it's just we cannot get run out right now. We just cannot.
Oh God.
That's why people
For ancient
come
country.
to take money, take bills. You kill them.
No, murder is not part of the equation tonight, Casimir.
It's Halloween. It's the best night for. This is the one night we literally get away with murder.
Limoncello, please help me.
Listen, you son of a bitch, we do not want you here. Please go.
You think you talk to your exarch like this? You living far away too long. Yes, I far away. You think you safe from my reach. I can still make your life very difficult.
I am older than you.
By
I-
1 year.
I am older. Respect your elder.
Oh God. Casimir, look. The whole point of us coming over here with your mission was to expand, yes?
It was to expand and to bring powerful vampires into fold, and looks at the twins. I think we need to re-examine definition of powerful.
It is
We're powerful. Do you want to see it? I'm gonna like snap like flash like full flash on the camera, but like snap a picture of Cassie with whatever modern day iPhone. This is 2024, the most modern day iPhone
15.
iPhone 15.
Yeah.
Although this is, in 3 months from now, so it's probably gone from the iPhone 15 to like the iPhone 30. So
Yeah.
whatever iPhone it is, and like push a couple of buttons real quick, and then show it to Kazi, and it's like one of those like dancing, moving memes where like the head is still, but like it's like doing Cotton Eye Joe with like a little cowboy hat. Be like, look at this, look at this. This is power.
He
This is
takes the
powerful.
phone and he's like, what sorcery you use to capture image? Because like a lot of some vampire media, it's very hard to get vampires on film or video, but it's actually just the newest feature of the iPhone. Their cameras are now so fancy and so in detail that the iPhone 16 or 30, whatever it is the first one to be able to actually capture vampires. And you're very excited about that because you can finally have like selfie game now and be on social media. But he doesn't know that. He's like, you I see why you turn them now. You good with witchcraft can finally capture our image outside the painting.
Witchcraft indeed. Witchcraft indeed.
What can you do?
Have you seen this? And I'll open like Instagram and Pinterest and stuff like that, and all the just different fashion icons and swipe. No, point at me, point at him. Swipe. You need to change that outfit, sir.
I am so proud of my children.
I have no idea what the point of that was. You know what? Fine. One night, we'll play things your way. I'm here to check up on you, check up on progress. Clearly, one of you has some abilities. It's interesting. Maybe we play it your way. We'll play nice, have a party actually for the humans, not to lure the humans. And we'll see how it goes.
And I think maybe there should be some clarification, dear. You are not to feed on anyone while you are here.
No feeding under my roof.
But I just woke up. It's breakfast time.
Think about it this way. You don't feed now, and then like more people will come later. Make a good impression now. More people come later. And we can talk about it then.
We also have blood in the fridge, Casimir, that I could graciously show you if you are so hungry as you claim.
Eyes narrow. Do you have favorite flavor? You remember?
Yes, you particularly, if I recall correctly, were very much interested in late 20-somethings who did not seem to have too much going for them, and you just wanted to do more of a power struggle?
Yes, exactly.
Lived in parents' basement.
Yes. There's, I think, a handful of the stash that's in the further back parts of it. I can go grab it for you. And I'm just like giving Limoncello the do something. I'll just quickly go grab it.
As
that
I was waiting
outfit-
for the food, he's like, "Oh, fine, you can bring me outfit, whatever." Goes to start like playing the piano that's in that room, and he's actually quite a talented piano player, like playing a very mournful song that is very lovely. But like about 8 bars in, all of a sudden the piano lid slams and like a fake hand comes out and like grabs his hand. And he's like, "God!" And then you're like, "Oh shit, we forgot we rigged the piano for the party." That was the last thing I forgot to mention. Like, what is this? Rude. And he just sits
Okay.
in a chair and just waits for you to bring him a new outfit.
I'm going to bring him like it's like Elton John, Rocket Man kind of like
God.
just glitter, flowing cape, big ass like sunglass or glasses and stuff to go with it. But then I want to like just because I hate this guy, and so I'm just like it all goes together, but it's just to like really kind of just embarrass his senses. I'm gonna give him like a top hat that just is ridiculously tall as well. And again, very much glittery, all like bright red colors, and maybe throw in a little like purple in there too, just to mix it up for him some. But it's very gaudy and shiny.
I immediately see what Kieran's like doing with like the gaudiness and the shininess, and I'm gonna go out and get some, not outside, but like go to my bedroom and bring out some like hair chalk. So like the hair that's coming out from under the top hat, I'm just gonna like start coloring it with like the hair chalk to fit that vibe.
Oh no.
And it will be like looking. Do you think we should like touch up the makeup a little bit for him.
Definitely, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm thinking something late '80s, like teen pop star,
I see exactly where you're going.
like Tiffany, like kind of just big ass, like maybe even tease the bangs up in front of the hat like a little bit, so it's just
Get that like electric blue eyeshadow from a palette that's probably actually from the 80s. Makeup is totally expired.
lead based.
And you bring out the lead-based makeup, and he goes, "Oh yes, my favorite actually. I like this one."
We thought
The
you might.
makeup he's down for. And as you're doing it, he says, you have very deft hands, even almost nicer than wife number 14. And he's like, he gets his makeup actually done fairly frequently. Part of why it looks so bad now is because he had to do it himself, because he did not bring any of the partners with him on this trip from Europe. But then while you're doing the makeup, he's looking before he gets dressed in the sparkly clothes, looks at them. Again, I confuse. Why such spangly outfit if not to lure in the prey? But humans not prey tonight.
This
If you-
sparkle will lure. Trust me when I say. We don't know when it started. We don't know what's going on, but sparkly vampires are just kind of in with humans at the moment. So trust me when I say that this will
heard
absolutely
this.
up your game.
I heard this rumor. It's making no sense to me. This not rumor.
And I tell you what,
Sparkly vampires.
if you do it right, they will pray to you.
People like the sparkly vampires. Ay, this world. Going to dogs. When he's done makeup, lets you get dressed, and by the time you're finished doing your makeover montage with Casimir, the sun has fully set, and he's just gonna he's sitting in a chair, but he's doing the thing where he doesn't sit in a chair normally. He's like perched like a weird bisexual in the chair, and like this, and like sitting there all lury and creepy.
Like Marisha Ray from Critical
yeah.
Role, like doing the
Yeah.
Marisha Ray
And like
sing.
perched to the chair and just like sipping on a blood bag, but it's like looking like over like and like looking kind of still very menacing at you, and like he thinks he looks casual right now.
I see you two have worked your magic.
Like we said, witchcraft.
Hour.
Mm-hmm.
Limoncello's definitely he left like 5 minutes ago. He's great.
He's grilling. So you'd be the first to see some of the guests. So the first like group of people you see a few people coming in like some group costumes. Well, first you see a group of like probably from like U of T or Ryerson, like a group of university kids, probably like freshmen that are all just wearing like U of T and Ryerson like clothing, spirit where they're not dressed up. They're like, we're too cool to dress up for Halloween kind of thing. They've just thrown like a little bit of like fake blood on their face or something, and then have like their varsity hoodie kind of thing. Mixture of people. And then you see a group costume, a bunch of people who have made all the characters of Scooby-Doo coming as a group. So you have like Fred, Daphne, Velma, Shaggy, and then there's the Scooby is just a girl wearing a very, very tight-fitting brown mini dress with black polka dots and like a headband with some dog ears. And that's the Scooby.
And that's accurate. Yep.
Nice.
I look over
Neighbor.
at Kiara. Do you feel like a Scooby snack?
Definitely will be feasting on a Scooby snack.
They approach the house and they like get close and they see Limoncello outside, and they just have and they kind of stop, and it's like their curiosity of like no one's ever been in this house, you want to know, is warring with just all the weird their gut feelings, which say like turn the fuck around, and like are telling them like this is not the place to be, and they're kind of like stuck there, almost like they don't know, they're waiting for something to like see which side wins or pull them into the house.
Can I do some kind of roll to... My brain just died. I want to
Don't you hate that?
hypnotize them like a true vampire to lure them inside.
Then
Could I assist with that? That's my signature power is hypnotism.
I was
There
gonna
you
say
go.
I could use disarming to.
Daughter, come out here and welcome in our guests. Bring them in.
Because you can't leave the grill, you're too busy. Someone's got to watch the
Yeah,
grill, things will
exactly.
burn. Because you like waved to them, and they didn't really come closer. So that's why you're like, all right, I need someone else to like get these people to actually come into the house. Then yeah, maybe if you want to describe what you do to get them in the house or how you're using your abilities, and we can maybe get our first roll of the day going.
Is the house modern enough that we have like a sound system?
You've brought one in, you've rented like speakers, and there's just like a laptop with a playlist set up, and then like some super simple like
Karaoke in the
fancy
corner.
lighting. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go out. Like when I hear limoncello, like I'm like, okay, I'm coming. And I kind of see like the situation. They're a little like hesitant to come into the house, and be like, I got this. I'm gonna pull out the phone, and I'm gonna play. What was the song you said? Or was it the Monster Mash?
Mhm.
And you ever like see like Lord of the Rings where like when Arya kind of like that, like she gets like all like glowy and there's light behind her, and like it kind of something like that where she's gonna be like, come do the mash, come to the Monster Mash, and it's gonna kind of like lights flickering behind her kind of thing, and instantly like sending out some like pheromones of like, come inside with the Monster Mash.
Okay.
I don't remember what it's called, but like that camera shot where it's like the background looks like it's moving closer to you even though the foreground's not moving.
Love it.
That's what they see.
Okay. And Kieran, you wanted to assist.
I want to use like my disarming to make them feel at ease. So I will just be like, hey, fellow kids, we're having just such a great time at this party. And I'll be like, looking at my little
fellow
grew arm.
kids. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Then I'm just checking. Is it one person with assistance? So basically, one of you is gonna roll, and you'll get a d6 from the other. So what's your? Is it a +2 or +3 in your disarming? It's a +2.
Mine's a +2.
And which skill are you using, Kiara? Is this is this your signature power then you're using?
You're still muted.
Sorry. Still getting used to the push to talk. The signature power, the hit.
Okay. Then in that case, you don't need to roll at all if you're using your signature power, because that's your like auto succeed basically. So then yeah, but you get the flavorful assist from Kieran as well. Then maybe what I'll do is Kieran roll 2d6 anyway. So it's not to see if it's saying the skill succeeds. It's just to see if you avoid any blowback. So basically, as long as you don't roll a 1 on either of these 2d6.
A 5 and a 4.
Oh,
Okay.
the chat helped me out. It's called a dolly zoom.
There you
what that
go.
effect is called.
Thanks,
Alright,
Robertables.
so they see this. They also see some more people, so it's not just like the loner dad outside. They see a sense of who else might be in this house, and they're like, okay. They work up their nerve, like, all right, we're gonna go. And so the first group of people enters the house, and over the next like hour or so, of course, more and more people trickle in. We'll go over all the costumes that are present closer to the costume contest. But yeah, you start to get a reasonable crowd. Like your house isn't crowded or anything yet, but you have a good chunk of your first guests. What is there any particular interactions you want to have with your first guest, or that you have people here? What do you get up to? What do you do?
I'm thinking Esther might be kind of being hostess, so to speak, to try and gauge like how everyone's doing, for lack of a better word, and like kind of bringing trays of either the drinks or just like some of the samples that are from like the snack area and stuff, just checking in to see how everyone's doing.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
I actually am curious, would I be able to use mind reading to see if there's anyone who might be a bit disgruntled with how things are right now?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Is that a +2 or +3 for you?
It is a +2.
Okay, then roll me 2d6s.
Okay.
And are you trying to mind read like everyone, like go from person to person? You're not honing in on any particular group or anything?
Yeah,
You're just doing like a
just kind of a general sweep, and I
Okay.
actually got 2 6s.
Okay, so that's a magnificent success. So yeah,
Hey!
you managed to, not only do you manage to quickly like sneak a peek into over like the next 15-20 minutes or so the surface thoughts of every guest that's there, but you manage to do it while avoiding detection, because sometimes the humans will know, even if it's just as like, oh, something feels weird, but like there's some sort of way they can tell someone's been in their mind. You get nothing. So far a lot of the surface thoughts are very, you get a range of, oh, this party's kind of boring at first, like the music, like I don't feel like the song's been played, like this is the fifth, I swear the song's the fifth time like this song's been played, is like one thought you hear. One, you get, someone's like, oh dude, like that burger smells really good, I hope they're gonna be done soon. Like so far it's very, like nothing super stands out other than just repetitive music, and the vibes are kind of low. There's nothing that sticks out as concerning to you yet.
Okay.
Although you also get one person going, oh, that dude's real creepy, and you get quite a few people who looked at Casimir who think he's, because he's not interacting with anyone, he's just like watching and staring, and he is not actually talking to anyone because he doesn't understand how to interact with humans. That isn't a predator prey situation, so he is choosing to not interact.
Oh god, this poor sweet bean. I think just for the music part, I'll like gesture. I would imagine Phil is like somewhere within the vicinity. I'll
He's
just
probably
gesture.
manning the pumpkin beer, but he's nearby.
Yeah,
I
because
just wanna,
basically
like,
it's like you guys made probably playlist, and it's his job, like if there's something wrong with like the laptop and the Spotify, to go fix it, but he's not choosing the music, he's just like monitoring it. But yeah, he would be the one to talk to if you want to go over and like pick a different Spotify playlist or adjust
How-
volume or anything.
Yeah, how old is Phil?
Probably mid-20s.
I'm gonna like gesture over towards him, and it's like, Phil, dear, I think we need some help with the music department.
Oh, by the way, what is Phil wearing to this party? I'm curious.
He's got like overalls over like a yellow t-shirt and like work boots, but he has on like probably like a gorilla mask with his hat on top of it
Nice.
that says like mustache rides.
Like it. And question also, is Phil only a minion for like someone who goes out in the daylight for you guys and like gets things done and helps you connect with it, or is he also a minion that you occasionally feed on? And does he have to wear anything to hide? Like, does he have bite marks
No,
on him
he's
anywhere?
just kind of like hanging out. I'm not even sure that he totally realizes that we're all vampires. He just really like, one day like I connected to him. I was like I think I might feed on this guy, and then he just like made me feel good about myself, and so I kept him around because he was telling me what he appreciates about me.
Love it. Okay, cool.
So what does he appreciates about you?
Well, today he appreciates how I shut that Casimir up and made him look like a fancy Barbie doll.
Yeah, so
And
that's
speaking of Barbie dolls, you notice there is a guest that shows up in the identical costume to Kiara, minus the lunar moth. There is another Barbie, like Barbie movie, Margot Robbie Barbie there. But like there's 2 or 3 in different outfits from the film, but there is another pink cowgirl Barbie there.
Immediately when I see that, I'm gonna be like, ah, like the kind of like the fake smile. And I don't know what I have to do for it. I'd like to use hypnotism again.
Okay.
I'll be like, it's okay. It's okay. We can fix this. I'll help her change.
Like I feel like I was totally like you know where it's like hypnotism, like, yes, get her to change or I will.
I'll go grab one of the blood packs and walk over.
Real or fake?
The fake ones.
Okay.
Because I don't want the smell of iron and stuff like that, like to give things away so early. So I'll go over. Oh, you look so beautiful. You know, I just went, oh my God. Oh, and I squirt all over the front of her shirt.
That's what she said.
Well, I've got to take her away still. You know, I'm so terribly sorry about this. We need to, let's go get you changed. I've got some other costumes. We'll find something perfect for you, darling. And it'll be, you know what? Maybe while we're back there, we can do some art together.
It's like, do some art?
Yeah, I'm an artist too. You want to see some of my work?
Fine, I guess. Doesn't seem that enthused, but wants something to wear for the rest of the night that isn't stained. So is like, oh God, fine.
gonna totally be like, oh my gosh, oh my brother, he's such a klutz.
So
But kind of like click my
clumsy.
hand and be like, thank you.
And so I'll take her back into my art room, which also like houses a lot of like I've got a walk-in closet area back there with just rows upon rows of clothing, and the artwork is just like right now on the wall is just a lot of canvases that is just me like plastered against it like nude, and so there's occasional like dangly bits like hanging down. At first it's like, is that like an elephant head? Like what is like because it's just like legs and stuff like that, like bent out weird, and it's kind of a little small for an elephant trunk. What is that? Look, okay, it was cold outside, and
In that moment, you hear, "Who's ready for some sausages?"
And Phil goes, me. Phil's very excited. Phil's the first one.
Phil just wants to be included. That's all he wants.
And he's gonna at some point he's gonna get like some sort of like sausage hot dog, and he's gonna make some sort of reference about like a really terrible joke about sausages to Kieran at some point, trying to be flirty, and it's gonna go terribly.
Oh
or is it?
no! But it would just be me asking Phil to just check in on the music, just to make sure that it's all like kind of working smoothly.
Yeah.
It's not the same
Phil,
song playing.
there's a song, deep cut. There's a song I heard called "Bisexual Jort Squat." Could you play that?
Phil's like,
Too deep a cut.
I don't know, but that sounds like a vibe.
Excellent.
I'll
Let
look
us
for
play.
it.
Limoncello, dear, I don't know where you get all these song references from. Oh God.
I don't know. I've been around so long. I just probably dad rock.
So Phil's gonna he's gonna throw together a playlist. It's gonna be a combination of really weird, suggestive indie band titles, anything that could be considered gay pop, and then some also really cheesy old horror movie soundtracks, like all combined. So that the vibes are gonna be all over the place for the next little while, but not in a necessarily bad way. Well, so what tell us all the different things you have grilled up. Like is it just you buy a lot of one thing and you just have like, is it just sausages for days? You have like sausages,
just
burgers, different
sausages.
types, just sausages.
Just
Perfect.
sausages with hamburger buns, hot dog buns, more hamburger buns.
Are there just like slices of bread on there as
pretzel
well?
Yeah, and just some white bread. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even King's Hawaiian. It's
We're
just
just
white
grilling bread.
Wonder bread.
Damn it!
Yeah, and I am also like warming up the bread because
Yep.
I saw it on TV once.
I would like you to I want to make you roll for does the food taste okay? But I'm trying to see what might be the most appropriate.
It's either very raw or very well done.
Oh
Yeah.
no!
No in between.
You know what?
Depending on the
go-
sausage, that's probably not a big deal.
Go with me here, tangent.
Okay.
Both because it's your role as like vampire daddy, but also like what do dad's parents do? Feed people. What is a way to like get people started feeding them, and maybe eventually making them like you, eventually to maybe siring more spawn. A lot of people joke about it's like, oh, I cooked for someone, that's how I made them like me. So I'm gonna say you can use a siring spawn check for this, of all things, because there isn't anything that's really
Ooh.
specifically about cooking
We'll see if
food.
it's actually really
Well,
good.
he's working with his sausage, so
And I don't think you have any bonds on your sheet that would apply to this. So it's just a straight
No.
siring spawn roll.
Okay. 2d6. That is a 4 total.
For
3 into 1.
a 3 and a 1. Ooh. Okay. There's no blowbacks, luckily, because like a 1 is like you get a roll in the blowback table. That's only if you are combining your powers with someone else. So whenever you fail in this game, you get the choice of, do you just want to go, we learn from failure, it fails, there's no consequences, so the food's just not going to be great. You can choose to succeed but have a minor consequence, or you can
I want a
choose to
minor
have a perfect
consequence.
success, but there's some sort of major consequence.
I want a major consequence.
A major one? Okay. So
Yeah.
the major
give me
consequence is
that consequence.
people so the how you still succeeded because you chose, of all the things, you chose blood sausage because it had blood in the name, so it's on theme, but you also thought it literally meant maybe you could eat it as well because there might be like more
Yeah.
blood in it than the average sausage. And then some people are looking at it dubiously, like the guests don't know if they're gonna eat it. So, and you can't really talk to them because you don't speak any modern day English. So to try and communicate to them, like, no, like the food's good, it's fine. You go ahead and decide to take a big old bite and like eat half of a sausage on your own. And very quickly does your system tell you this food is not meant for you. But it does work. The other guests do start eating the food. But you like very immediately you manage to run outside, avoid the carpets, but immediately, because your vampire system like doesn't tolerate food for even a second, like exorcist level projectile vomiting on your veranda. In front of some guests who were coming to come to the party. They weren't in the house yet. They see that, turn around and leave. They're like, oh god.
I think
May
my head
I
also
add
rotates
one thing to that
360
consequence?
degrees.
Yes.
You see a flash of light from the doorway. Kira totally just snapped a picture.
Oh, and it's on her Insta story. But she's boomeranged it, so the vomit goes in and out and in and out.
While my head's also spinning, so you get like
Yeah.
180 in that picture.
Yep.
The sprinkler.
There's the
Yep.
sprinkler you wanted, dear, just not blood.
Yep. And then while you're like just still having the after dry heaves of it, Casimir comes out and goes, I like the commitment to the gore bit. This is very good. Very good. Goes back inside. But the guests are eating the sausages, and no one else is throwing up, and they seem to be liking them. That you do hear some complaints about, like, dude, what? Like, they don't have enough buns, man. And like all the hot dog buns are gone, and now there's only burger or white bread. Some people are just eating just the sausages, like dipping it in some ketchup with a fork, whatever.
For some reason, we've got that crazy cool colored ketchup from the early 2000s.
Like the green.
Gosh,
Like
the purple ketchup
purple
and all
green
that.
Ketchup, yeah.
And it is from
Saving
that time.
for-
It's like 20 years old.
Yes. I've been saving for a special occasion.
They're like Crystal Pepsi in the.
Oh,
I mean, that's not bad. It came back. Not saying it should have, but it came back.
We also have Crystal Pepsi. Yeah, that's all
Oh
we have. To do.
God!
crystal gravy.
Oh no, we have our spiked. We have our spiked fruit punch. Never mind.
Yep.
Or Baja Blast garbage juice.
Yeah,
Aha, blast.
the spiked fruit punches and the blood bags, the weird like witch's brew, aka like the jungle juice vibe of we just mix some alcohols and some like mixers together, and it's made
Four
something.
Locos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is in there. You do see, because now there's even more like saltier food being served. The drinks table is running a little low. Like there's a decent amount of the witch's brew left, but all the blood bags and the water bottles are empty, and someone's gonna need to refill those.
I was just gonna say we have enough, like in the kitchen, just to
Yeah, you just got to go
restock
back
all
to
of
the
it, right?
kitchen and restock it. Yeah.
Okay. To avoid a further embarrassment for Limoncello, I actually want to go up towards Casimir. And it's
Mhm.
like, darling, will you be willing to help me with restocking all of the refreshments? This way you
Refreshing the refreshments is fine.
Okay.
You don't have. He's like, I mean, I guess normally I have servants do this, but I guess for blending in, I help.
Yes.
Phil's just over at the laptop,
Vibing.
just being Billy.
As you're heading back towards the kitchen, you do hear a shriek, and you see one of the new guests who walked in. It's one of like the fourth Spider-Man of the night to walk into the party. Has been jump scared by one of the door statues, and it's the first time they moved, and the whole front room like shrieked. And now there's a bunch of people quickly like taking pictures for social media, like, "Oh, that's so sick, dude!" And so that has gone over a hit so far. So yeah, you guys head back to the kitchen. So you have you have mostly fridges, not a lot of cupboard space, because again, typically you're storing like blood and not a lot of food. So, and you like your blood Some of you like the kind of cool, some of you like it heated up afterwards. Like, so there's a microwave. You can nuke your blood, make it 98.6 if you want, so it feels more lifelike when you drink it. Which is what Casimir's gonna do. He's gonna start warming one up for him in a glass.
That's don't let it go too long, because it will start chunking up a little bit, and that's
He is gonna try and put the whole like plastic blood bag in there. Also, you see him putting like.
No, dear.
I'm gonna watch this.
Let me help you with that, Casimir, and I'll start prepping it the way
I
that
would 100% go with Kieran. Like, just pull out my phone and start recording. Be like, let's see what happens.
Do you two have nothing better to do?
Really, no.
Not at the current moment. Nothing better than what's about to happen.
Well, your father upchucked, unfortunately, so why don't you go and attend to him first?
Who's
Pass.
ready to play charades?
Oh God! Okay, that is something I cannot have. I cannot have Daddy Vamp playing charades with these guests. We are going to get kicked off the trending page, and we just had a hit with the statues. Kiara will actually go.
Okay. So you find a microwave safe receptacle, start microwaving some blood, and he's gonna while you're doing that for him, he's like, okay, I take, and he starts taking some of the refreshments back out. And he takes some of like the spiked, he takes some water bottles, he takes some of the spiked fruit punch, etc., and goes and puts them out there.
And I tried to slip something into his drink.
Yes, you can.
I want to
is there a
slip
skill in
some
particular that applies?
I mean, I have Hunter. I don't know if that would do it. Again, disarming might also, because the innocuous make good assassins because they are often overlooked. So I'm thinking something along those lines where I'm just like trying to stealthily just incorporate some human something to try to see if I can get a similar reaction to my father, but maybe more colorful.
I'll say
Would
allow
Kieran
it
have
to be a disarming role, because you're at the end it was like you're disarming Casimir a little bit, making him more vulnerable, making him embarrassed.
one of my things is hallucinogenic. Since Kieran and I are kind of like twins, would Kieran have access to my store of hallucinogenics?
If you trust him to know where your stash is, absolutely.
Absolutely do. Like if Kieran like trusts the like in Kieran's closet is like the artwork, in my closet is all my weapons and hallucinogenics, so like it's like an open secret for the both of us. So absolutely Kieran would know where where Kiara keeps her hallucinogens.
So like vomiting and hallucinating would be a fun time for him. Okay. So I will do, is this what, 2d6 again?
If you're disarming is +2, but you'll also get a third one from Ash sharing the hallucinogenics, so you get 3d6.
Do I have to do a combative roll of any sort just because I'm the one prepping the thing?
No.
Okay.
So you know how to.
I love how it's essentially like the Lord of all evil has come to visit. Let's slip him some shrooms. This is gonna be great.
I got a 2, 3, and a 4.
Okay. No successes. So you're slipping in. So Esther takes it out of the microwave. And so you try and put it in there, and Esther, you immediately clock. You see what Kieran's doing. So I leave it up to you. What you do when you see this.
Okay. I think at that moment, Esther won't say anything. She'll actually whistle, and I'm hoping for my minion to show up just to kind of swoop in to kind of scare Kieran at the last minute. And Esther's minion is a raven, just a standard normal raven who just goes "Wah!" and just flies in.
Maybe because you see what Kieran's about to do. So as Kieran's taking, whether it's like a baggie, a bottle, I don't know what hallucinogenic you're putting in there, but as Kieran's going to spike it, you whistle for your raven, and your raven does the swoop in, like not like fly right above his hand, and Kieran goes Gah! And like drops, and the drugs spill on the ground. They did not make it into the blood, and now there's a mess.
I'm gonna look over at her.
Drugs everywhere.
Can you just be cool for a minute? Damn.
I'm from the 1800s, dear. I don't know what cool actually means.
I'm not done.
Mm-hmm.
And this is for you now, and I'll walk away, leaving it.
I'll take that as a win. I'll just sweep it up and stuff just to make sure it's not a mess, toss it all out, and then I'll go back outside to wherever Casimir is with his blood. So
Okay. He's by the food table because he's just finished restocking it, and you bring him his, and he's like, "Oh, thank you, many thank. He's perfect temperature." And he's gonna go.
What is his drink in now?
Yeah. What did you choose to put it in? Did you put it in like a fancy glass, or did you put it in
I
like a
put it
regular,
in
like
a
a
fancy-
sippy cup? Like, what did you want to put it in?
It's in a skull.
A skull. Yeah, probably like one of those
A
like
skull.
fake Halloween spirit store
yeah,
like
yeah.
skulls and stuff. I hope it's microwave safe. I'm assuming.
Yep.
At least for the context
Yeah,
of this
yeah.
game, it is.
He's gonna be like, "Oh, he's like, "I love the skull. Nice touch." And he's like, "Oh, plastic." And then he was really hoping it was a real one. And as he goes to the drink table, you see some guests take some more of the like blood bag. He's like, they go, these are kind of cool, like nice touch. And they're gonna look at Casimir and you because they saw him restocking it, and they know you're one of the people that live here. Like, did you make these or did you buy these? And start like sipping on one.
We decided to be a little creative and do all this ourselves.
As you say that, you see them sipping it, and they make a really funny face, like, "Oh, yeah, it's a great idea." And then you realize, as you say, like you look at the blood going back down the straw. It looks a little bit viscous compared to the spiked fruit punch that is in the fake ones that you had out for the people.
Ah.
And you all of a sudden think Casimir may have put some real ones out on the table.
Yeah.
And there's definitely a bunch that have been taken.
So, dear, why that looks like it's a bad batch. I'm afraid we probably just, had that happen. Why don't I give you a fresh one? My treat.
Sure. And then this is like say it's like a 20-year-old that you're talking to that took the bad sip, and say they are dressed like they're gonna be dressed like Taylor Swift, and then you see there's their date who came with them who's dressed like Travis Kelce. Someone goes, whoa, babe, hold on, bring your fresh one. I want to see you. I want a seal broken in front of me. And looks at you, he's like, you don't drink
Wait,
random
aren't
things
they
from people
broken
at
up at this
parties.
point?
Maybe that's why the costume's even funnier. And he looks and he's like, if you're gonna bring her a drink, I want to see you. I want to see you make it. Bring it here. It's like, no one just gives my girl like opened drinks. And he's like, I told you not to drink from communal things. Like, you should have been drinking the water bottles, babe. And like giving her a lecture on drinking random things at parties.
Can I do mind reading again?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Ooh, okay, I got a 5 and a 1.
Okay, the 5 is a success.
Okay.
You hear in his mind, he's thinking, because he saw a few other people also make a funny face, so he maybe has clocked some other people, the guests who got the real blood that was not meant for them. And he also just is very, because now Casimir's doing his weird starey thing again, and he's just like staring very intently at this guy's date. So very concerned about that. So basically, he's just like really, it's genuine concern because he is getting all sorts of bad vibes, and he just now is like, well, I'm going to be keeping a closer eye on my date for the rest of the night, and he is now decided he's not eating or drinking anything else that is at this party.
Well, I'm so sorry for the concern. I don't wish for you to have a poor time here at our party. My friend over here is a family member of mine from overseas. It's his first time here in the States. He's just simply trying to help.
And he looks at you and does a very weird force, like tries to look like awkward smile and a like weird thumbs up, but doesn't say anything.
This is Casimir doing that?
Yep.
Of course it is.
Yep. And the guy's like, yeah, cool story, bro. You know what? I think he's like, babe, I think we have that other party to get to. And she's like, oh yeah, totally right. They say, well, thanks for having us. And as they're leaving, Kiara sees them getting on their phone to write something on Twitter about this weird party they went to.
So, go ahead.
Oh no, I would go ahead.
So after my failed attempt to spike the drink, I would have immediately run to Kiara because I'm not giving up this plan. and knowing that she has more tools at her disposal than I do for this kind of thing, said, "Hey, I want to try to find a way to spike his drink from a distance. What do you have? What do you have? What can we do to
In
make
this
happen?"
moment, Limoncello comes up behind the two of you. Children, what are you doing?
Uh-oh.
Disappointed dad time.
Just trying to make the party fun.
Just seeing what everyone else could see.
Trying to entertain the guests.
Be
Hmm.
great hosts.
And what
You-
are you doing to be a great host?
You doing okay? You're looking a little paler than normal.
Father is fine. Do not change subject.
And by the way, for viewers, this is all happening in like a dead dialect of probably like an ancestor to some sort of like Eastern European language that currently exists. This is like the 5 times removed ancient old and like been mutated so many times version of it. So no, even if there are party guests listening, no one can understand whatever is being said in this moment.
Fine. We're trying to just spike Casimir's drink with a little something something, so he will entertain the guests.
Children,
And not eat them.
I am so proud of you. Let's get him the fuck out of here.
Did our dad just become cool?
I feel like there's an actual moment where Kiara and Kieran are both kind of like, we're in trouble. Wait, what did you say?
There's bonding. Bonding is happening. Amazing.
I'm gonna kind of
I
like
don't want this little shit here.
I'm gonna kind of like nudge my hat up a little bit to wake up Atticus, my little lunar moth. I'm gonna say, see if go get the I'm trying to think of a good name for it. Let's see. This is an 18 and up stream, right? No, I'm just kidding.
Yes. Yes,
Oh, it is. Oh, wonderful. Go get the Blow Me 5000. And Atticus is gonna fly up to my closet and I don't know if a lunar moth could carry it. I don't know how heavy a little blow dart would be, but like a little blow gun, like one of the.
Oh,
like
good. It's a blow dart. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Melissa was thinking some gok
Yep.
or huak tu.
It was intentional. But yeah, a little blow dart.
Spit
Well,
on that
again,
thing.
rule of cool, charity one shot will allow it. This moth can carry what the fuck ever it wants. I don't care.
It's an
Within
enhanced
reason.
moth. How about that? It's like it's an
It
enhanced moth.
gains strength from its bond with its creator / vampire.
Are you turning mods now?
It was very pretty. Come on, it matches my eyes.
All right, so it brings
will
you
see.
this blow dart.
I would hold it out to Kieran and be like, so.
You're a better shot. You should probably take it. We just want to get it in the drink, probably not in Casimir's neck, because then he won't know what happened.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can take a shot and see if I can aim it into Casimir's drink skull.
Is there a way that I can use my hunter skill to help like point out like the best shot for her to take or something like that? Where
Yeah, sure.
Like
Do-
pretend you're giving it a lobotomy. Go right through the eye hole.
Yeah, no, I think that would work. So you're gonna be adding a d6 for using your hunter skill, and then you have your whatever is it 2 or 3 for hallucinogenics.
For hallucinogenics, it's 2.
Okay, so you get 3d6. Also, do any of your bonds apply to this? Like, are they related to this check you're about to make?
So my bond with Kieran is so uptight they make me want to scream, but I feel like I'm kind of being like, maybe they're not as uptight.
So you can then, I say, yeah, you get a 4th d6 because this is a moment where he's dropped that thing that normally makes you want to scream. You're like, oh my god, he's having fun tonight. He's up for some like chaos and fucking around.
All right, let's see. I only have 2, so I'm gonna have to roll twice.
That's fine.
So it's oop, 1 fell off.
I
So
can't
it's a
believe you just
5.
publicly admitted you only have 2d6.
I know they're all in another room.
Oh, okay.
So it's a 5, a 1, a 2, and another 5.
Okay.
And so plus 2, it would be the highest is a 7.
Well, it's the numbers are matter. So you have 2 5s, which is 2 successes. So that I'll say it just works. It's a crowded. You're trying not to hit a party guest, and it's like a small cup. I'll say you can choose success with a minor complication or success with a major complication.
Oh, I'm gonna go major complication because that just seems more fun.
Yeah, no, it's
Okay. Then it's going to like hit his glass, and like the thing's gonna go in there. What is it something like it'll dissolve in liquid? Like something like how is it gonna then go into his drink?
I feel like it's another like it'll dissolve and it's got like a little gel inside of it, so it like once the outside dissolves, the inside kind of like instant, you know what I mean?
my thought was something like human food type thing to induce the vomiting, but also some sort of hallucinogenic. So he's vomiting and hallucinating while it happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was going to be some sort of liquid or air, like something dissolvable that was food
Yeah.
that's still human. Because
Gotcha.
after seeing my dad's reaction to the food, I'm like, oh yeah.
Okay. Then you manage to avoid hitting any party guests. It lands in the open skull he is drinking from. And as he drinks it, it's gonna have some sort of reaction where it's gonna start emitting like blood, chemicals, whatever human food you put in there. Probably not a real thing in science that would make this happen. I don't give a fuck. It starts to like the smell of the drink change rather than that tangy, like that iron coppery and very like human smell of blood. It now starts to give off a much sweeter smell. And some of the guests that Esther was talking to, those who left, the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce couple, but some other people that were around the table then start to smell this drink. And as Casimir takes a sip and says to Esther, oh, very, very nice vintage, lovely vintage. They hear, oh, really? Dude, what is that? It smells bomb. Can I have some? And he's gonna just look and be like, sure, of course. And Esther, you're looking like, but he's just like, sure, and gonna offer it to two other like one of them looks like they look like theater kids. He's gonna like these two theater kids, artsy kids, that he's now gonna share his spiked real blood with. And after he takes a sip, hands it to them, and at this point, like it happens so quickly, almost like Esther, that you're just like, oh god, like as you would be like, wait, don't, like the first kid's already like down. They're almost like doing it like shot style. So just
Does
like throwing
Esther
it
know
back.
that it's happened?
Well, you saw something like you kind of like saw or heard like a little splash, but even without that, it's it's real blood. Like
Yeah, but
that's all
Esther
you
doesn't know that we spiked it though.
No, other than that
Okay.
it smells weird suddenly. And but for all you know, maybe that's like from microwaving it. I don't know, because you guys don't do that very often. You
No.
just know that some vampires prefer that.
We heat it up slowly on the stove like proper people.
Exactly. And after Casimir has some of it, and while those two finish it, they basically almost each do like a big shot style swig, and that's all that was in the glass. And the kids don't seem bothered right away, other than they're like, that's funky. What is in that? What is that recipe, bro? Talking about it, and then but Casimir starts to go a little bit kind of green looking,
no.
like, right, and is like, oh dear. And then though the kids being the kind of like weirdo artsy kids, one of them goes, it has a bit of a taste of insert like sub strand genre of like mushroom here mixed with insert strain of weed here. Can you tell
No.
Laura doesn't do drugs?
Go ahead and tell us which ones. I have to come up with drinks on the spot on my stream. You go ahead. Tell me what mushrooms and weed are used.
It's like it tastes kind of like purple haze mixed with like strawberry cough and like a little bit of that like like dirt floor grunge like to it. But and there's this weird like metallic vibe. Don't know where that's coming from. And they're
Like the
discussing
dirt man made it.
yeah. And that's enough for Esther to maybe twig what's happened now, because you've heard random drug talk from just living with Kiara and talking about new flavors of this or strains of that, blah blah blah. And then But like that wouldn't really affect because vampires can get high and be affected by drugs. Usually it's by drinking blood from a human that was on it. And like they can feel it and they can ingest those substances and have the same effects without, necessarily negative side effects. But it's always from just ingesting the blood of someone who has had them. It's never from doing it straight. No, or like unfiltered or unprocessed a little bit like that. And he's gonna go outside and go, excuse me, and he's gonna run outside. Kiara is ready with the cell phone, and he's gonna go. The same as Phil has just finished mopping and hosing off the last of the vomit from limoncello, and Casimir just right in the same spot, right as it's clean. Not the full-on like volume and the Exorcist level like strength that limoncello had, but this one is very weird colors and has that same weird sweet smell that the drink had. It's like a weird tie-dye effect happening, but it's like shades of red, purple, and black. Like almost like blood and bruises, like the colors of like bruises on skin, but like
That'd be a
in a
great
weird
name for a
liquid
goth
form.
band, Blood and Bruises.
Yeah, right.
But by the time he's done, it's already got like a little like 7-second clip on Instagram, like set to Gangnam Style or something.
What a choice.
I'm gonna see like with the theater kids taking it too, and I'll look over at Kiara and be like, I'd feel bad, but it's theater kids, so it was really only a matter of time anyway. This was inevitable, so really we just help speed along the process.
Oh god. Seeing Casimir like race outside, I just want to go after him and just kind of rub his back while he's just getting rid of it. Like, oh boy.
As you're outside, oh, go ahead.
Part of me just wants. Do I say it?
Always
do
say
it.
Where's everyone in relation to Casimir right now?
I'm right next to him, rubbing his back to try and help him with that.
Kiara's like in the doorway filming.
I'm changing my answers to who I'm most disappointed in by their lack of ruthlessness, though. I tell you what, it is now Esther.
Yeah, it's now
Esther. I mean, I personally love that the game doesn't say whether the bonds are like permanent, a fluid thing, but I feel like any tabletop system when things are fluid is more fun, and it doesn't expressly say they're not. To me, I feel like bonds are always evolving, kind of like how in D&D your alignment should not be fixed, it should be something fluid. So also you can change your bonds at any time during the game based on events that have happened.
Cool.
So I think I'm gonna stand behind my children holding a stake, and I'm gonna say, no, let's kill him.
Is this a meat steak or a wooden steak?
Oh yeah.
Wooden. Oh, it's a meat steak. Yeah.
That is a good clarifying question.
Yeah.
As you have one of those, I feel like
I mean, not with this steak, but
Phil's gonna come over after I just cleaned that, bro.
Hey,
he's gonna look at. He's like,
that's what I appreciate about you.
He's like, you know what? Thanks, man. I work hard.
What does
you know,
he appreciate?
But by the way, where did you get that? He points at the steak limoncello's holding. He's like, I was expressly told I wasn't allowed to have any of those in this place. Because I had this sick Halloween costume planned. I was gonna be like a gender bent Buffy, and then you told me I couldn't have those. Steak. Oh, it's a meat steak.
He's doing a meat steak, right? Hey. It was gonna be a wooden steak, but then the meat steak got brought up, and I thought that'd be funny.
That's funnier.
Yeah.
All right, then. Never mind. Retcon. That last thing that Phil said didn't happen.
But we like the gender bent Buffy.
Mm-hmm.
That's his costume for next year.
Okay.
He's just gonna wear like a one of those like halter tops and tight leather pants that she wore, but just like stretched across his like buff, hairy physique and looking like
hot.
Yep. And then with a wooden steak and some banging makeup.
My costume next year.
Done. Anyways, once Casimir finishes throwing up and the rubbing the back, he's like, "Oh, it's helping, thank you." But then that was just the food he was throwing up because his system does allow for drugs. That part did not that like already got, and vampire systems process things very fast in my head now, to make this work. That has started to hit, and he is gonna look at his vomit on the ground and be like,
Oh.
this is art. I inspired you. Points at Kieran. Bring canvas. You said you have canvas. Bring canvas right now.
Yes, of course. I'll go get you a canvas. I'll go grab my canvas. No, to bring it. What I do is nude art. So I cover myself in the paint and then I lay on the canvas. And I really think you need to do that to really embrace your inner artist.
Maybe trigger warning for people who aren't that good on vomit, just to be on the safe
Yeah.
side.
Again, not planned to do, but he's gonna start to be like, this is, oh yes, brilliant, raw emotion in the art. And I have great body, actually.
I've
You wouldn't
heard.
know. And he's gonna start to like as if like, and you now realize the poor thought in his brain. And Esther, anyone is welcome to stop him as you realize what's happened. You all realize what he's thinking is, with the funky colors he has just thrown up and the fun like swirls and things, is like some weird Picasso art, and he's like, this is paint. And now what Kieran has suggested, so he is, unless someone stops him, he is planning to strip naked on your front porch, roll in the contents of your porch that has come from his body, and then make a painting with it, with the canvas that will be brought to him.
I will look over Esther. If you stop him, I will never talk to you again.
I personally don't think I'd mind that right now. Casimir, dear, why
Son of a
don't
bitch.
we go inside and we see all of the other artwork that is
I'm
there?
going to use my dress for success signature power to try to convince him that this is the way to be immortalized, to always be remembered forever, to kind of override her trying to persuade him to do otherwise.
Oh, and the worst part is signature powers you don't roll for. They just succeed.
I'm evil.
Okay, then he is gonna do it. Although very quick, we do have the option to be like, actually, could you bring, maybe just in case, not enough. And he's like, I am very tall individual. Could we bring some extra paint, please? You have some?
Oh, I have lots of paint. Just a moment. And I'll go over to my dad. So he's gonna do this. Do we happen to have a tanning bed anywhere nearby? I can convince him it'll help him dry off faster later. You were talking about, killing him.
I will say it's not an item that you would maybe
Right,
keep
that's
in
why
the
I'm
house.
asking if we would have one for our human visitors
Unless-
that we may have had in the past.
Unless Phil maybe is really into tanning and you allowed him to have one somewhere in the house.
That's why I'm asking if Lemoncello if there's one in the house. Like, did we have one? Did we ever get one of those?
Get it what?
I was asking if we ever got a tanning bed for any of the visitors we might have had. I'm going to try to convince Casimir to, after he's painted, to lie in the tanning bed to help.
It's probably one from like the 80s that I just keep fixing.
Or you got it for Phil so that, because he has to stay, he has to like sleep so much during the day to be awake when you're awake, to avoid him also looking like sickly pale and to still him get some vitamin D. You literally got this for him so he can try and maintain a not vampiric skin tone while also not seeing the sun very much.
Just make sure it's working. I want to see if we can get him in there afterwards. And then I'll run and go grab some more paints.
Okay.
Murder my tanning bed.
Again, if you weren't going to use this, if you hadn't used your signature power, I was going to be like, someone could convince him to do this, but with real paint indoors. But this has happened now. Unless it becomes a battle, there is some other way someone can figure that out. As you're going into the house to go get more paints to supplement his raw materials for this work of art that his drug-addled mind now feels like has to happen in this moment. You're walking past that room that had that like sensory mini game with the like sticking your hand in the coffins and try and guess what's in there. And it was when you set it up, it was like all just regular food items and it was a fun little game. You hear people playing the game. You hear I was like, "Oh god, oh it's so gross. Oh my god." And it's supposed to be, right? But then so you hear someone be like, "Oh, dude, did they have to cover it in like so much of the like fake blood though? It's going to stain my costume." And you're like, "We didn't put any blood on the things because there's no visual component. Like no one can see them." So that seems kind of weird.
I'll think about that as I continue to do this because it's not going to register fully deeply yet.
I'll check in on that.
Who all heard that?
I was like, Kieran heard it because he was going inside to go to his room to go get the paints. Because where you guys are, if you're looking at the veranda, we'll say the ones that are outside with Casimir are on like the right side, kind of where there's that outdoor table. You're at like just south of that, like that part of the deck. So not in front of like the very front of the house, but off to the right of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you went back inside, walk around there. If there was a window in there that is open, I will say that you
it's
could
night
maybe
in
have heard it as
October.
well. Yeah.
In Toronto.
In Toronto.
Hey, lately in current road, that means it's probably still going to be like 28 degrees because climate change. So maybe there's windows open for a breeze to flow through the house.
Well, depending on how many bodies are in there. I mean, we don't normally have temperature issues.
Yeah, true. You wouldn't. And you also, most of your windows are all normally heavily curtained, some boarded for obvious reasons. So I'm sure they're probably not open.
So I heard it, but I'm not registering anything that it means because I don't think I set that up, nor would I really care all that much. So I probably won't say anything about it unless it comes up again.
Maybe Kiara also could, because she's like from around the corner, because she wasn't like right with you guys, but just like came out to film his embarrassment and then is back inside.
Yeah, like, I don't want to like get near the vomit fiasco going on. So
he's a sympathetic vomiter.
I very much would be kind of like in the doorway just to film it, and then once it's filmed, out of sight, out of mind, it's like, okay, I did what I came to do, which was embarrass somebody on social media. So would probably be back inside already to.
And Limoncello was right behind them too, so I'd imagine that Limoncello heard.
You could also have heard it, yeah.
I don't think I would have.
Yeah.
That would have definitely kind of caused my attention to peak up a little bit, because it's like, what do you mean something's not going perfect? Or if something is not going perfect, it's not going perfect in a way that Kieran and I designed. So like, we're the only ones who can fuck shit up. So she would kind of instantly feel like a bit of like, who put something in there that could cause someone to get upset with this party? Because right now it's going perfect, except for the things that Kieran and I have decided will not go perfect. So that would kind of instantly draw her attention.
Okay. Well then, let me know what then, if you hear that, what your reaction is then. Are you going to investigate it? Are you going to tell someone? Are you...
I feel like I wouldn't tell someone just yet, but it would very much have like an overreaction of like, wait, what? What? Hold on. And then like kind of storm off.
Okay. And Limoncello, would you go with her then, maybe, to go join investigating? Yeah. Okay. So you two will go investigate that. You go to the room and you wait till you see there's no one playing the games. You just see people after sticking their hands in, pull their hands out, and there definitely is some red like on their hands that you're like, I definitely don't remember us adding that for effect. And you also realize it has a very familiar smell, but it doesn't smell like human blood per se, but it maybe smells like animal blood of some kind that you definitely did not remember adding as a component to this like sensory mini game contest thing.
I do want to get a good old, I do want to get an Alexis line in of like, if someone's like, oh my god, there's something in there, it's like, oh my god, who hasn't had blood on their hands? Can you just like leave for a second? Like, like, oh my gosh, who hasn't been kidnapped, David?
I'm gonna try some of the blood.
Okay. And this is a taste you're very familiar with living in Toronto. Very strong flavor of raccoon trash panda. Because the raccoons of Toronto in particular have a specific flavor because they eat so much human garbage and like so much takeout and leftover food that it's a very unique, not desirable. Like drinking animal blood as vampires is like a last resort, a desperation thing. It's not something you guys do regularly. But like when you first moved here, maybe before you had got your hookup at a blood bank or at a
It's like a
hospital.
purge.
Yeah. So it's a taste that you definitely know. And also because like I'm pretty sure like now that we have blood bags in the fridge, like why the fuck is someone like we don't keep raccoon blood in the house.
As Limoncello's like tasting the blood, can I try to like kind of get the guests out of the room, be like, yeah, it'll be open in just a second. Just so like
Yeah.
nobody's around if we want to like open the boxes or anything.
Yeah. Roll.
Can I scare everyone out of the room in case that
You
doesn't work?
can. Yeah, because it's not working. She's like, we believe no one's really doing it, but you see, and I say even with the licking too of the blood, and that's pretty creepy. You can make a horror check for me.
Horror.
Yeah.
Making a horror check. 3d6, 3d6. That is. Oh, please don't tell me. Damn it. Okay, that's a 1, a 2, and a 4.
Yikes. So you try and like scare people out by
Blah.
looking menacing and do it while you're like licking the
Blah.
like
Blah, blah,
blood.
blah.
It's just about to
Yeah.
say the blah. I'm gonna be like limoncello.
Blah,
Vampires
blah,
don't say
blah.
blah blah blah.
Yeah,
Blah.
but that's almost word for word, gesture for gesture what you do. And I'll say it doesn't have the desired effect. Like people are looking at you. Actually, your choice, minor or major complication.
Major.
Go big or go home.
Yeah. YOLO.
Well, they see you licking your hands, and the people who just played the game are like, "Oh, dude," because like their food, maybe it's like maybe it tastes good, bro. And the people who had played the game also start like licking their hands, and one of them's like, "Nope, nope, nope. Thought it'd be strawberry,
Shadowcast.
not strawberry, not strawberry."
Now I want a shadow cast to get them to stop.
Do it.
I'm going to shadow cast and try and hypnotize them and be like, you will not taste the blood and you will walk away.
Okay.
Except they can't understand me, so I don't think that's actually going to work, is it?
No, but it's just in their head, like not necessarily words, because you're
Okay.
doing. It's more almost like you're implanting, like you're implanting a desire or a thought in their mind with it. I'd say.
Would I also be able to help with like hypnotism to
Yes.
like help with the language also?
Yes. Like maybe
Translating.
you add words.
Translating in their heads.
Like you know what he's doing. You're familiar with your dad's abilities, and so you're almost like adding the soundtrack. Like he's putting the image in their head, and you're adding like the subtitles, basically.
Ooh, okay.
So
That
add a
gives me
d6.
additional dice.
Yeah. And does
Cool.
do any of your
4.
do any of your bonds relate to it? Is there a bond that's Kiara related? Maybe that works.
I do
Ooh,
have a bond with Limoncello of truly understands the great threat and is helping me prepare. I don't know how that like
Also,
if it relates.
Who did I sire, and which of the Draculas from saved me from a terrible fate, and how? So
Okay,
that's it.
I'll say then get an extra one because the sire bond, and that's how you've done this before and you work so well. So
So that is 2 3s, 2 4s.
Amazing.
yikes. Okay. Now people are starting to like almost like hallucinate, like taste this nasty shit. They're like, oh, if someone goes, oh God, I don't feel good. Did someone spike this? What is it? Oh my God. And a bunch of them start quickly
Getting
circulating the
brave.
rumor that this whole game, like this room, fucked up and someone has drugged, of course, not the thing that is drugged, but someone has drugged the food items, whatever fake blood is in this game, and everyone finally leaves the room, but they are quickly spreading rumors around your party that they think someone is spiking things at this party.
I just wanted to be normal. Blah.
Do the with the sorry, with the mini games. I'm sorry, I have a stutter. With the mini games, like, do the boxes, are they able to like open or anything?
Yeah,
Like, can
you
we
guys can open
investigate
them
like
up.
what's inside?
Yeah, you guys can because you made them that way. So once everyone does leave, you open them up, and you do realize that someone has replaced. So the peeled grapes that were supposed to be like fake eyeballs, there are actual eyeballs from a deceased animal, and they're too small to be human. They don't look like human eyeballs. And the sausage links are meant to be intestines, real intestines in there now. Definitely not put there by any of you. Only one person that you can think of would have had any reason or thought to do this. And they're currently about to make a very horrific piece of art.
We're killing him.
Do you think he did this, or? And I'm gonna kind of think about the art. I'm gonna be like, ah, Kieran.
Unless one of my children betrayed me.
Oh, you're talking about killing Kieran? I thought you were talking about killing like
No, I'm talking about killing Casimir. I'm talking about killing Casimir. Because
Okay,
I don't
'cause
think
I
one
was-
of my children would betray me.
I mean, is this a betrayal or is this like a practical joke? I don't know. I just
Casimir does not. You've met Casimir. Casimir, no joke. Casimir is joke.
That's fair. Is he still outside? We have to just I'm gonna
So while you guys were investigating, you've now made this discovery. Kieran, you went to go get paint and a canvas. What paints and what size canvas do you bring him?
Well, I'd already brought him the canvas.
Okay, well, what paints are you bringing in addition?
I saw the colors that were already out there, and so I'm trying to do something that's going to kind of like accent. So like maybe some brighter like silver, and something that can be used to like put some highlights in there. So some whites and silvers, and maybe like a sky blue.
And what medium of paint do you like to use? Is it acrylic? Is it oil paint? Is it watercolor nonsense?
Oil.
Like, what we
It's
oil
oil.
paints? Yeah, that's what I thought. So you go ahead, bring that out there, and are you gonna just like give him the paints and go? Or are you gonna like set anything up, make any suggestions?
I'm laying that. So I've laid the canvas down. It's like really the best way to do this is to just cover your entire body, and then you just lay down and kind of roll back and forth, kind of like a stamp, to imprint yourself onto it. And then when you stand up and you see what you have there, then we can add like the like we can go over that later once you're dried off, because we will want to do some prep for you as well afterwards. But we're going to go ahead and get the initial print, and then we'll come back to it later, and we'll do the fine touch ups and really kind of hit that moment.
Okay. He's gonna be like, okay, you expert. I finally. And he's gonna get like awkwardly close to you, and he's also kind of like waving, like he's not really his balance off, and he's like gonna like put his hand like on your face, and he's gonna be like, I get it now. Before I no understand why they turn you. I get it now.
Your breath is a little AB positive right now, and I need it to be negative away from me. Okay, I just need it to be gone. Let's go ahead and get you painted.
He laughs far too loud at that joke, like far more than it deserved. Then he's gonna go ahead and start taking off his spangly outfit. Or no, actually, first he's gonna be like, okay, he's gonna have forgotten that part and selected it, but he's gonna leave the spangly outfit on and just go straight to, and he's gonna go wee and like face first.
Oh,
Because he wants to get his face. He's gonna like put his face to the canvas and try and get a fang print as well. So the front of your very nice outfit is now covered in paint and other liquids, and his own face. And then he's gonna like do that, and then like do the vampire ability, like levitate back up, like stand perfectly, not have to like use arms or knees and get up like a regular human, and then like levitate himself over to the canvas and levitate back down perfectly. And he's gonna basically have like torso. He's gonna first just like torso imprint and like arms almost in like this kind of pose, and then he's gonna wait and then push his face in it with his mouth open to get like a fang, like face going on the canvas, and it works remarkably well.
I'll be like, Elton is not gonna want to give me another outfit again. Oh God.
And then as you say that, he's like, right, I'm supposed to take clothes
Yeah,
off.
because otherwise you don't get your dong in the picture, and that's really what we're going for.
And he goes, "You don't deserve my dong," and then goes inside.
Don't worry, I
Goes
don't want
inside
it.
the
I
house.
don't want your dong. That's not for me.
I want someone to throw a sausage at this man right now.
And he's gonna go inside, and he's gonna go just straight to the upper level because he knows that's like where he goes. And he's like, I am the Exarch. I can go where I want. He's in Carrots off limits, and he's gonna go find some new clothes to put on. And now in the meantime, you go back inside, and you'll Esther and Kieran. You now can see Kiara and Limoncello having a very serious looking conversation in that room where your game used to be.
Mhm.
Good news, didn't see his dong.
His blood sausage.
You beat me by 1 second.
Well, unfortunately, there's a bit of artwork now that's in the front yard.
Oh, speaking of
Clarinet.
artwork, there's some artwork in here. Does anyone want to explain the artwork in here that everyone is now talking about out there?
What artwork are you talking about?
This artwork, and I'm gonna kind of like, probably more forcefully than actually is necessary, like rip the lid off of one of the boxes and kind of hold it out. You're like, this artwork right here, this thing that could socially ruin us forever.
I'll just do the same thing, not knowing that Limoncello did it. I'll just like drag my finger across and I'll just taste it.
Just like
What?
Limoncello,
Kiara's
you
probably
can
sti-
identify that taste very quickly.
Kiara's probably staring at Esther like, yeah, I'm gonna let you do it.
Why is there raccoon blood all over the inside of these?
Would anybody like to say why?
And not
I'm
just raccoon blood. It looks like raccoon body parts have replaced your fake edible food body parts as well.
I'm starting to feel like I'm trapped in an Avril Lavigne lyric here. This is not okay.
Yeah, roll if you get that dark.
Wait, so nobody did this? Nobody in this room did this?
No, why would any of us do this?
I'm gonna kind of like look a glance out like a window where it's probably boarded up, but like we all know on the other side of it, there's currently somebody rolling around in their own bodily fluids, which probably makes it sound worse than it really is. So, and then kind of like glance back.
You've
and be
gone
like,
upstairs to change now.
oh yes. Then I'm gonna kind of glance out that way, knowing that there's a canvas on the lawn filled with that, and I'm gonna be like, because we like funny, fucked up shit, and this is kind of funny and fucked up, but this wasn't supposed to be the funny, fucked up area. This was supposed to be the normal people area.
And Esther, I don't know if you know this, but Casimir looks like the downfall of society.
He has been with us the entire time. How could he possibly have snuck in and done this?
I don't know. He does stuff. We all do stuff.
A hand gesture.
Limoncello, stop. Look, I will go upstairs. I will check on Casimir and see if, for some reason, he conjured all this stuff. All of you do crowd control.
If he shows moment of weakness, kill him.
I am not killing him. I am not killing a vampire diplomat in our own house.
I'm very uninterested in that opinion.
Look, all of you do crowd control. I will investigate and I will read his mind and see if there's anything that somehow ended up slipping our mists. The three of you get this shit together, and I'll start going upstairs.
I'm going to look over at Kiara. I have never heard someone say so many wrong things one after the other consecutively in a row.
In a row.
In a row. Before we continue, we are over 2 hours, and does anyone need a bio break quickly, like a bathroom leg stretch, hydration
Esther does.
break? Are we good?
Quick one would be nice.
Yeah, okay.
I would also like a quick one as well.
Then yeah, we'll do quick 5-10 minute break.
We're just going
right
to do a
here.
quickie, guys. Just a quickie.
Just a quickie.
Good chance for anyone in chat watching to check out the Tiltify campaign.
And to go
Or the
transfer
charity.
money in your bank account to, make some donations because we want to see some chugging.
Yeah, because remember, if we hit $500
yeah.
During our game time slot, Mika is gonna once again sacrifice his body for charity and drink an absurd amount of wine in
Maybe
one
I'll
sitting.
come back. Maybe I'll come back with some peanut butter whiskey to have some fun.
I have blackberry crown and some lemonade downstairs, but I'm really like, oh man, it'd be such a bad idea if I drank alcohol today because of bodily reasons. But I'm
Oh,
I'm
no.
this close. I'm
Risk
this
it for the
close to
biscuit.
considering it.
Risk it for the biscuit. You
Right,
and me,
so
some
yeah.
whiskey.
Anybody needs a break, go ahead and take it now. The rest
All
of it, like I'll just sit here and hang, chill.
Do we not
Chat
have a
if you have any
break screen?
questions.
Do we have a
I don't know
break
if we have a
screen?
break screen. If not, I'm happy to sit here and entertain chat while people take a
That's
break if they need one.
really going to be awkward and amazing, and I love it. Just sit here.
Read
I'm going to now sit
vampire
like this for
facts.
10 minutes.
Weird vampire
vampire
facts for
facts.
10 minutes.
Just sit
Yeah.
here and stare at the camera
Just
for 10
5.
minutes.
Just give me 5.
Go for it.
I will also take 5. Do we turn cameras off?
It might
I
mess
would
with over.
just
Put something
cover-
over it. Just
cover
put like
it.
a piece of
I
paper,
don't-
a t-shirt, or something.
I'll just take my shirt off.
If anyone watching has any questions about the system as well, feel free to ask. Again, it's called Oops All Draculas. It's a lot of fun.
Anybody? All by myself.
And yeah, again, not something I thought would need to be put as a trigger warning or on Lines and Veils, but apparently maybe for future just put projectile vomiting on the checklist.
I just say that just as a just in case
Yeah.
scenario more than anything, because it's like, oh yeah, there might be people who have sensitive stomachs for this kind of
Yep.
thing. You're seeing vampires, we're drinking blood, but any other kind of bodily fluid might
Yep.
potentially be another high risk of trigger warning for
Mhm.
people. I'm also super hungry and super jelly that you have food.
I was brought food and it is the best.
Ah.
Yum. Yeah, normally, I feel like from this point out, we should hopefully that should be the last of the last of the vomit scenes. So- and I can just say it is because I'm the DM.
'Cause you're
And
the DM.
therefore,
You can do what you want.
Mhm.
By the way, too, for anybody who's still at home, even if you don't have people who are watching the stream, but they still want to contribute to the Trevor Project, or if they still want to come in, because we still have another game that's right after this, y'all can go ahead and send the nice the nice QR code or the link, and then just send it off to your friends who want to donate to an amazing project. So the Trevor Project, for those of you who may not know what it is a resource, a nonprofit resource that is geared specifically towards LGBTQIA plus youth, to ensure that they have all the resources that they need, where they don't feel alone, that they have all of the tools that are necessary in order for them to go through life. It's run by a lot of volunteers. There's other people who also do the project as well, as full-time employees. So it's a very important and very good resource for a lot of youth who may not be in states that are as welcoming or as accepting of the LGBTQ plus youth. So making sure you guys spread the word. So if you can't donate money, which is fine, you can spread the word and you can send it off to people who also have the ability to help. So
You can also share the stream link and the Tiltify link on other social media. You can retweet. I know Tales of Initiative has tweeted about the event today. I've tweeted about the stream. You can share it to like Discord servers you're in. Share it on Facebook if you want. Share it on Threads, Blue Sky, whatever. Free action and helps. Every little bit helps.
And there's also another game that happens right after this of Thirsty Sword Lesbians. Excuse me, which is a very big hit over here at Tales of Initiative. That is actually going to be run by our GM, Matt, with Anna and Taylor, and I forgot completely the third person who's in it. Oh, my brain. Brina, BBEG Brina, BBEG Brina, who you could also find on Tales of Initiative, I think, for some of our older stuff. But BBEG Brina also has her own Twitch channel, which she does live streams as well. So you guys are able to go ahead and converse and to mingle and do all of the fun things. But this is all for a very good cause. So
Fun.
it's always fun.
The little snippets I caught of the first game looked so fun.
It was
The tiny
so much
bits
fun.
I heard.
It
So
was
like
so
at
much
some
fun.
point, if no one makes like a game or a one shot for that system called Armed to the Teeth, such a missed opportunity. It's the best name ever, and it needs to happen.
It has very much It's not well, yeah, I could say it's like Cyborg a little bit with like the fun wackiness of like it's rules light, so to speak, so you can literally do whatever the fuck you want with it, and I liked it a lot. It was a lot of fun. Especially playing a bisexual spirit infested queen is always a good time.
Yeah.
So but for those of you who are also in chat, what kind of characters would you play in this little system of a very botched like Adam's Family rendition with oops all Draculas, in my opinion.
Yeah. The
I was
actual names of the subclasses, we have the aristocrat, the techno, the innocuous, the Nosferatu, and the sentimentalist.
Mm-hmm. I was definitely trying to go for the Anne Rice Interview with a Vampire vibe for Esther, which I hope I'm doing justice with. But
Mm-hmm.
I also was just tempted to do something more along the Twilight trend just for kicks, just to be the absolutely obnoxious, sparkly vampire. But it's
Love it.
I don't know if I'd be able to pull it off that well. But
I one time, as a charity incentive, covered my entire face in glitter for a stream. It was a lot. A lot.
What was the effort to take it off?
It was like simultaneously easier because I was using like the ColourPop glitterly obsessed
okay.
like gel glitters.
Yeah.
So in one way easy because like it wiped off, but then there's a little lingering, like the bulk of it wipes off easily, but then the lingering like bits you're still just fine for days because it's glitter. So yeah, and I used like 2 whole like pots of the gel like on my face. It was a
I
fun
got some
time.
Fritos and peanut butter whiskey. I was like, how redneck can I get? And that just feels like right. Or white
That
trash.
kind of
like,
sounds like a great combo, though. I'm not gonna lie.
There's some honey barbecue and some regular
You're on
Fritos,
mute,
and then
Mika.
Got the opener, I see.
You're still
I
muted.
got a wine opener.
There you go.
Oh, never mind. It's my computer's the problem.
Got a wine opener. We're prepared.
Woo!
Prepared. All right, so we return to Esther going upstairs to check on Casimir. Casimir has gone into you see him basically like living out. There is no music. The music is only in his head, but he's having like a montage moment, like a fashion makeover montage moment, and he's
It's like a silent disco.
yeah, he's going in and out of closets trying on outfits, but he's doing it at super speed. He's a vampire, so it's like at a montage speed, but in real time. Like a quick change artist, in out, in out. But he has pulled something from some of everyone's clothing. So there's like socks and sandals and some dad shorts and a Hawaiian shirt from Limoncello's closet. He has one of your like period dresses. He comes out in and he's like, no, too tight. He goes in and comes out in this like super avant-garde outfit from Kieran's closet that it has like a shirt that's like longer in the back and like hangs over like knee and has a bunch of like artsy rips in it and stuff. But then he's like, who buy Broken shirt? Goes in. He goes and comes out in like this super chic dress and really big floppy sun hat that belongs to Kiara. And that's when he lingers in longest for a minute. And then he's like, and then he goes back in, and instead he comes out with one of the like Spirit Halloween-esque, just like shitty ass basic cloak from Limoncello's closet, but leaves the fun floppy like Kentucky Derby hat from Kiara's closet, and that's the outfit he settles on.
his dong
Right now?
has now touched all our clothes.
It has, yes. And he comes out and he's like, "I'm ready for more party."
Yes, you are, dear. Let's wash your face first a little bit, just to get all the art off. So
He
that
did
you
a
could
pretty decent job at cleaning, but there's just like some bits caught in like some hair at like his temples and stuff. Yeah, he needs a little bit of.
yeah. Let's start you off as a blank canvas, dear, and let's just clean up a little bit of those smudges at the edges.
Yes, okay. And more blood. My stomach very empty right now. I would like some more, please.
Of course, let's take care of you first, and then I will personally see to it that you only get blood from me, and I'll just start leading him towards the bathroom.
Okay.
I just want to take like a hand cloth or something, and I just kind of like want to like start wiping off his face of just residual mess. And that's all.
And he's like, I think evening going very well. I kill no one.
No, you didn't, and I'm very proud of you, dear.
I am getting a little bored though. Like little murder. Little murder.
Mm-hmm.
Funny that he says that.
Well, I need to ask you, dear, did you participate in some of the games that we had set up?
I don't know about game. I found your like the blood and guts decorations, but they were very lame, so I made them better. I brought some of the real ones from my collection. I got peckish on the way over here, and there was some leftover. I kind of like buried it outside so not to get caught, and I just dug some up real quick, put some back.
So you decided to put real intestines, real eyes, real blood in all three of them?
We are vampire. We are scary. Authenticity
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think
is
we
great idea.
Bleh.
I hear a disturbance in the force. I think Limoncello might have been right. Listen, dear, we need to attend to some things, but unfortunately, vampires and our fun activities don't blend well with humans. So it has to be muted.
If not blend well with human, why try blend with human? Be vampire.
Uh-huh. Well, vampires over here do not have a very good rep, dear.
This make head hurt. Snack, please.
Okay. Um, just a random question.
Mm-hmm.
Can vampires feed on other vampires?
I can.
feel like I was like they absolutely can. I don't think this again. This is now me just pulling from Laura's obsession with vampires and the compilation of all the different vampire lore. This is not a part of and like embedded in the system. It does not say, so no one thinks it's a part of Oops All Draculas. In my mind, vampires can feed another vampires do so frequently, but you cannot sustain yourself on that because it doesn't have the same nourishment as like human blood. It's more of a thing that's either a pleasure, a kink thing, or a desperation thing. Like, oh, if you haven't eaten in ages, you can feed on a vampire and it'll keep you from starvation for a little while, but like you
Yeah.
couldn't indefinitely feed on another vampire.
But this
Okay.
does say Nosferatu can feed on anyone and everyone, even fellow Draculas.
Yeah, they are I think the exception where it would nourish them.
Yeah.
I was because they're so old that even most Draculas are newer enough. Like the blood has some of that whatever, like the zest for life, that humanness to it quality isn't completely dissipated. Whereas in them, like there's nothing about them that isn't like on the inside at least like desiccated and purely just ancient vampire. Like younger vampires, there's lingering bits of humanity probably in their blood and stuff.
Only real serious questions on these types of streams, folks. Um, to kind of prolong the neediness, for lack of a better word, that Casimir has, I would like to offer my own blood to try and quench his thirst like a tiny bit.
They'd be like, that's very sweet of you. Unfortunately, one of my partner back in old country, really not a fan. Like rule when we're abroad is we only feed on each other. They'd get very upset, see it as infidelity. So it's very nice, but I have to say no.
Respect the rules.
Of course, dear.
That's his thing. That's the
I understand.
first three wives pretty chill, pretty cool with it. And then husband number one, at first hard fast rule, eventually more chill, but no, husband 10 right now is the real stickler.
That's a lot of partners to keep track of.
Yes, I have spreadsheet. And he pulls out like it's like a molecule drawing, but of his polycule, and like everyone's metamors, which ones are dating each other as well as him, and he is very, very proud of this immaculate, and it's on like scroll like paper too. It's like ancient and drawn with like feather and quill. And also has the dates they were added to the polycule on the back.
This is just like
How
like
often
a
is this
big-
updated?
This is just like
The most recent update, his most recent partner was 1999, cusp of the year 2000, because for a while he thought 2000 was when everything was going to end. So
Y2K
I mean,
stuff got it.
yeah.
very valid point, honestly. I just love the fact he's doing like a medieval rendition of Obsidian. It's just to keep track of it.
Yeah.
Well,
Like it's initials and then lines to like obviously his name's at the top and he has lines to everyone and it's like a really big spider web, but then there's lines like here he's in the middle and lines to all these names around him, but then there's also lines of some of them are like dating each other, some are of other
Aw.
people that he's like cool for blah blah blah. So yeah, he has a polycule diagram.
Oh, the sweet bean. Well, we can't go making your partner upset, can we?
I would never hear end of it when I go home. And he can always tell I don't get it.
Well, why don't you take my hand and we will see to it that you get the best blood I can find you. Hmm?
Yes, yes. Do we have any maybe like farmer blood, farmhand blood?
An oddly specific request. That's not one I pegged you for.
No, I have to be in mood.
Oh, mood feeder. Hmm? Well,
That's how you get fat.
Typically remind me of life before Exarch, and I don't like to think of it. But I don't know. I feel nostalgic right now.
yes, I can guarantee you Kieran is definitely responsible for that. And Kira. Why don't we go and check the fridge and see what we have left?
Okay.
I'll take his
Get
arm
this
and I'll
what we
just
have.
Is
I'll
our
just
blood
take his
really
arm.
labeled by source, like farm boy from like Midwest Atlantic kind of thing, or is it more like blood type?
I leave that up to you. How do you like to label your blood? Or do you all have a different system and basically depending on who procured it, does it get labeled differently?
I
Or
would
labeled
imagine
at all?
it's like mood feeding, like best paired with X, Y, and Z, best chilled, best warmed up, like all the like details that a sommelier would have with all their wine.
It's definitely the dad.
I literally thought you were going to say
Michelle did
Somalian,
this.
and I was like, wow, that's very specific.
No. And then you have
No.
Limoncello's only stash, like the rest of us cannot touch it because
Like our
that's
only
dad's.
fans.
That's
Only stash. Only fangs. Thank you.
I'm a little intoxicated already.
There is an
This
OnlyFans
is-
platform on the dark web that is used and known it's only for vampires, and it's vampires buying other vampires and
That's
pics and
hot.
videos.
oh god.
Yeah.
Fang
Michelle
pics.
has an OnlyFans account.
Yeah, but the pics that they post are not
What
so
do you
much
think
like
he's
like
getting
lewd
money
pics
for
of
us?
them. It's either pics of their fangs, so lots
Yeah,
of
fang
close-up
pics.
mouth shots, or pics of them or videos of them feeding. Is what gets what the main content on OnlyFans.
How long are your fangs?
Exactly.
Are they long or girthy?
Also, if people have like the really grown out, because back in the day, like vampire nails also grow incredibly long and
Mm.
sharp and are very strong. And most people now to blend in a bit more trim them. But there's also the ones who like let it old school happen and have like nail
Very
pics
turned on
them.
right now.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of feet pics, but it's all just bat feet.
Yeah, and people like shape shifted pics of like their animal
Mm.
forms.
Fat feet.
Fate. Yeah, I'll
God,
just
I'm drunk.
take him. I'll just take him by the arm and I'll just like escort him downstairs to the kitchen.
Animorphs. They're
So
definitely,
as you
like,
go downstairs,
animorph compilations of like the vampire like boudoir photo changing into a cat.
I did want to do something real quick before
Yeah,
Esther
yeah.
comes downstairs.
do it.
In an attempt to, I want to kind of like be like, okay, well, while Esther's figuring that out, I need to save this party real quick. So I'm gonna kind of like shove the box to Limoncello and go out in an attempt to get everybody to like stop spreading rumors that we spiked the total definite strawberry juice. Kiara's just like, as Esther's coming downstairs doing a rendition of a little bit Alexis, but instead it's a little bit Kiara.
Oh my god,
waiting to
amazing.
get everyone just to stop talking about this fight.
Yep. There are people who are like TikTok and Instagram living your little bit of Kiara performance. And I'd say like that does bring in a new crowd. Like some people are drawing like, oh, like, do you see this weird chick on TikTok live? We have to go to this party. And you get in like about 20-30 minutes later, you get like an influx of some new guests, I'd say, who came from that, and half of them came from the TikTok live. The other half are the kind of people who look like they came because they heard spiked shit was being given at this party. So maybe a bit more dubious, or people already under the influence of various substances have now showed up at your party.
She's very
These
much
people are
getting into
weird.
it. It's very much like
A little bit.
like I'm trying to remember the fucking lyrics. She's like, I'm a Lamborghini. I'm dirty as mud. I'm a little tipsy when I drink that blood.
Amazing. Incredible.
Inspiration.
Yeah, you know what? You get an extra d6 to whatever your next roll is just because.
Yay!
Write it down.
Just as a quick shout out, in our Wheel and Woe channel, I'm playing a bard.
I'm a little bit.
FYI, don't forget, chat, yeah, you can also give or take away d6s at any time with charity donations. All right, so yeah, you come downstairs to the tail end of that performance. Casimir claps very loud. Encore!
I just want to push his hands down, and it's like, come on, dear, let's just go get you some blood, yeah?
Okay. And yeah, he is like just everyone else will just think he's wasted, like he's just a drunk ass man. Oh, and you also guys now see his outfit, which again, so Kiara, he is wearing your hat, one of your hats.
You
Starts twitching a little bit.
Son of a bitch.
I'll just like escort him quickly into the kitchen and basically see if we have any of that farmhand, like farmer,
Yeah.
blood.
As you go to the kitchen, it's starting to get a bit busy. You have to do the thing where you like have to like weave through people, and you're like brushing up physically. You guys are like, excuse me, push your way through, and you're holding like him by the hand, like leading him with you. By the time you get to the kitchen, you turn around and realize like you were holding on to someone else. Like he slipped you in the crowd at one point, and some guest is like, "I'm sorry, did you need something?"
No.
I was dancing, and you just kind of grab my hand.
Oh boy, no! I wish I didn't. And I'm just gonna turn them around and just shove them through the door so that I can follow right behind them.
Yep. You go back outside, and you're looking for Casimir, and you see he's found a guest who is wearing a immaculate like period costume. Like it looks like there may be like 1600s era of nobility of some kind, but it's like an impeccably done, like this is either maybe a costuming student from like York or Ryerson or something, and they made their own costume. Attention to detail, great, but they're like they're also dressed as like a vampire of that time, but like the kind of more monstrous looking vampire, like the latex prosthetics and stuff. And you see Casimir excitedly speaking in fluent Latin to them because they look just like his cousin, and he thinks that his cousin has now come to the party. And then when they look confused, he drops the Latin. He's like, "Oh, right, like you think archaic language. You say language going to die. Oh my god, you were right. It's crazy." And then starts talking, and you start overhearing. He's saying very specific things that like about vampire society. And he starts talking about the hosts of the party. And then he starts talking about, in fact, one of them. He's like, "You might know her. Do you know this painting?" And he's about to start talking about a very specific painting that you know of.
Yeah.
Real quick, I have a Latin joke.
Oh god.
Kind of doubt like it's a pun. Semper ubi sub ubi. Always wear underwear.
That's a problem for me.
Now what language jokes are fun, kids.
Mel's enjoying that. She's enjoying the hell out of that joke.
I like dad jokes like that. It's funny.
Amazing.
Anyway, sorry I interrupted you.
No, it's
Actual role play.
no, it's a great joke. I loved it.
I fully feel like seeing this happen, Limoncello would totally say that, and Kieran and Kiara would just like do a Jim from The Office kind of look at each other like, ugh.
Oh
A
god.
major eye roll, like we'd see our brains.
Yep.
I want to just like slip right on in and kind of like hug my arm around Casimir's waist, and it's like, darling, there you are. I thought I lost you.
You are
He's
far
like,
too
oh,
kind
I
for
just.
this
He's
show.
like, look, is my cousin. I just telling him about because I don't know why you don't tell people more about your painting. He's like, famous painting. You don't want to be famous. I'd be telling all sorts of people. It's me.
Mhm. Well, I would love to be famous one day, dear, but I don't think that's the case. I just want, and I'm gonna like kind of touch up the charm a little bit, and I'll like kind of like stroke under his chin. I just want a nice, simple nightlight with you.
As you do this, out of the corner of your eye, you see like some movement. So Blash, you realize the other person, while he was talking, has got out their phone and was TikTok living him saying all these things, and now like you, and then you see their friend next to them is like Googling the painting that he mentioned. And you also realize like, oh, so all those other things he was just saying a minute ago about like vampire hierarchy, also like some of the murders that he committed, things like that was all live streamed.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Whoops.
And now the TikTok stream title is like drunk off his tits at Halloween party. Like the person streaming it probably doesn't, but you're like, if other vampires see this, or if this gets into the wrong hands, this is deeply concerning.
Yeah. 1 second as I try to figure out.
This is not the tits.
This could get to the FBI, the CIA, or worse, the Homeowners Association.
Do we have an HOA? Do we live in that kind of neighborhood?
We probably do.
Gator
God,
Road.
we
really
do.
didn't know.
We definitely didn't look for
There's
better
no way
options.
in hell we didn't. Yeah, we just took the cheapest option we had. This is a very important thing. I personally want to use my signature power, which I call spotlight moment, where
Okay.
it's basically I want to use the artistry of distraction, so to speak.
Okay.
So that's kind of like my method of doing it. And I kind of want to actually put the focus on the kid who was recording all of this instead of it being Casimir. So I'm tempted to like kind of highlight all of the period piece stuff, just kind of thinking like, oh wow, so unoriginal. You couldn't think of any other creative thoughts other than just your dead deceased relatives as a means of entertainment. You have to pick on poor innocent soul who is just simply having the time of his life for your cheap entertainment.
Okay, and now a lot of the TikTok comments start being like get burned, or she wrecked you, dude, and like people are seeming to turn on the streamer, and people are vibing with you, and they seem to be they're not as like talking about the nonsense that guy was saying anymore, and they're also not talking about like your resemblance to the painting or anything. One or two, the occasional comment still in there about that, but now the focus is more of this like the streamer being read to filth by this like older woman.
Those comments are getting buried. They're all coming by too
Yeah.
fast.
Yep.
And yeah, I'll just leave it at that, and I'm just gonna escort Casimir back into the kitchen so that we can get him the proper blood that he needs. Back to the original mission.
All right, yeah, you do this time. You successfully drag him into the kitchen.
Thank God.
Okay. So this party is popping off, right?
Yes, because now these various like the rumor mill and the various now pop-ups on social media you've had with good and bad have just caused more morbid curiosity. So now you're getting people who aren't just like your neighbors and people from the area. You're getting people coming from other parts of the city that were looking for like, hey, what's the like cool, not like cliche hipster like Halloween scene to go to that isn't just one of the big parties or the obvious places, or to go to like a club or something. They want to go somewhere like cool, but not too cool. That kind of crowd.
I want to turn this to the blood sprinkler party now. I wish we got those blood sprinklers.
You
I mean,
keep
you
going.
can
Kira's
make a
gonna
blood.
turn
You
to
could make a blood
Limoncello and be like,
sprinkler
"I
at any
told
time.
you."
You could make it a blood sprinkler party at any time. Might just be
With
rather
Skrillex?
violent.
I'm tempted to. I feel like my plan, tell me if this is crazy. I feel like my plan, since there's so many people, is to turn a few people and have them assist me in killing Casimir.
Oh god.
At this point, it is crowded enough that it's you could easily like pull people away, and no one would notice. And seeing people slink away, they'd either think, "Oh, it's like a couple going to like make out in a dark corner, or go do some illicit substances somewhere, or do some perfectly legal substances in Toronto."
Is
Many
the
things you can do.
are the Scooby Doo people still here? Because we wanted a Scooby snack at some point.
Oh my god,
They
you
are
read my
still
mind.
here. They are still here, the Scooby Gang.
We
The
should
list of
go,
costumes that are now here and like eligible for your costume contest, because Phil has been periodically reminding the party and announcing like to sign up if you want to be judged for the contest. So the options we have. So there the Barbie copycat costume was signed up, but she crossed her name off. There was of
He
course
is now rear end of horse.
yeah, there was of course Harley Quinn and a Joker, because there's always one.
Kiara did want to sign up for the costume contest.
You absolutely can. You see, again, there's multiple Spider-Men at your party. None of them are signed up for the costume contest, but there's like a few different versions of him, like different spider suits. There is a Deadpool Wolverine combo that has signed up.
Aw.
There is a group of the Sailor Scouts, but they're missing Sailor Mercury. The Scooby Gang has signed up. There's a Sam and Dean Winchester with a Castiel with them from Supernatural. There is a group Baldur's Gate cosplay with an Astarion, a Gale, and a Shadowheart.
Yes.
There's no point.
There's various members of the Straw Hats from One Piece signed up. They seem to be going live action version of costumes rather than anime. There is someone dressed as Alexander Hamilton, but like Lin-Manuel Miranda as Alexander Hamilton. There is Paul Atreides from the Dune series. The Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce were signed up, but they crossed their name off when they left. And there is someone who is dressed as Van Helsing, but like the Hugh Jackman Van Helsing from the movie with Kate Beckinsale. And then there is also, funnily enough, there is a David and Alexis brother sister entrant to the costume contest.
You, David.
Oh my god, that list is perfect.
So yeah, those are all your, so amongst other just generic, like zombie, dead cheerleader, pirate, like those are the specific named characters that have signed up for the contest. A lot of the more generic costumes did not sign up for the contest.
Really disappointed in our lack of slutty insert costume here.
So
there are plenty of those at the party, just none of them have
Okay.
signed up. The only one of those that signed up in the contest, again, the Scooby from the Scooby Gang has taken that mentality of animal costume, the Mean Girls method.
So
think
are
we're-
we doing like a first, second, third thing? Are we doing like a singular person and then a group one, or like what's the setup for this contest?
You realize in this moment you all never decided that, so you should figure that out. Oh, you're muted, Nika.
Crap.
Dibs on Scooby.
What didn't we decide?
Is your costume contest like first, second, third? Is there a first place only? Are you separating group and solo, or like you never made the specific criteria? All it was is costume contest, and then you also said prize. There'd be a prize, and you were like, "We'll pick the prize later," just from our trove of random shit in our house, and you also never picked that. So it's time to figure that out.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like it's just like balls to the wall, like costume contest. And then as people were showing up, we're like, oh wait, there has to be like rules.
Group
Rules.
contest? Solo contest.
I mean, clearly the winner gets a night with us.
Oh god. Oh wait, I'm not
The
there,
winner
so I.
gets forever with us.
Ooh, Daddy making it spicy.
As you say that, Casimir looks at you and goes, "I hate to say, I think same thing. What's better prize than immortality?"
God.
The Kill Bill. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh my god. Well, don't you think that's going to raise a few eyebrows if one person magically just leaves here and they, look the same forever?
What
What do
happens
you
at
mean they
Halloween
don't
party
leave?
stays at
They
Halloween
stay.
party.
I don't know if they're family members or friends or whoever is in their lives
Bill?
would be too happy with this.
Phil comes over. Yeah.
You want to stay
Well, I mean,
forever?
I thought that was the plan. Yeah.
See, no problem.
All right, Phil, follow me into the other room then.
Oh, you need help? You need help carrying something?
Wait, we're turning Phil right now?
Daddy needs help. Why am
Daddy
I
needs
calling
some
him
help.
Daddy? It's just-
Oh, is this not the plan right now?
No, Daddy.
I
Daddy, you're
feel like I'm
good.
missing something.
You're great, Daddy.
Hold on. So wait, I'm confused. Is Prize is vampire? Like Prize is being turned? Yes.
Prize is great, Daddy. Oh, Casimir. Sorry.
That's Casimir.
Hazzy.
Casimir goes, I never been
Cassie.
told this, but I like it.
Cassie got a freaky side. Maybe Cassie just needs to, loosen up a little bit.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Phil, go with Daddy. Daddy's going to take good care of you.
He's like, okay, oh, okay. I mean,
And then I'll see you afterwards.
okay. That's the part he looks more like he kind of looked like you're not like he was a bit sad, like you weren't coming. Then you said, "I'll see you afterward," and he was like, oh, "Okay," and he seems now like chill.
Oh, I'll be coming later.
Oh yeah. And he'll go off upstairs or to one of the unused rooms with limoncello at your behest. And Casimir goes, "Great! I start telling people about the prize."
No, Casimir. This is discretionary.
Keep it
This-
secret.
Yes.
What if they ask? Then what do we say?
We say we give them a private tour of some of our most elaborate pieces of art here within the haunted walls of our house.
Sensual.
And they get to
pieces
pick
of
one to
art.
take home.
They're going to have some sexual healing.
That's a lot of things all at once. Okay. If people ask, I go with that. And he's gonna then turn into a bat and fly away and start flying over some of the heads of the guests, spooking people. But the funny part is because he's also still drunk. He is flying very wobbly. He does hit some guests in the head and fly into some people periodically.
I was
And he's
totally
still
about
like,
to ask that.
rather than making bat noises, he's still like using his human voice and like trying to like make bat noises while he's flying around like a bat. Yeah.
Caca.
Or like
He's hallucinating
like
still.
making the weird squeaking noises that's supposed to be like bat echolocation and stuff, but just trying to do it really terribly.
Nailed it.
My
All right,
silence
so
bad.
Phil is with Limoncello right now. Where have you taken this man?
Take me, Daddy.
Just to the kitchen, I guess.
You guess what?
To the kitchen.
Daddy.
Phil's like, oh, did you need help restocking? Those blood bags are super popular.
Oh, this poor bean.
Yes, blood bags. Just stand right there for a moment.
Okay.
I'm going to get a little close, but don't worry. This is perfectly normal. Blah!
Blah.
Do you actually say Blair when you jump on?
That's
Yes.
that's his pickup line. Blah. Oh.
Blah.
Go
And now
ahead
Phil
and
calls you daddy,
roll
too.
for siring spawn.
Can I get an extra dice since this is my son's friend?
Weird.
Because he convinced him to go with you, sure. Because he's like, I trust my boyfriend. He wouldn't lead me astray.
This is the most elaborate romance novel I think anybody could come up with.
Stephanie Myers, eat your heart out.
What was your rolls?
2 5s and a 1.
Okay. That's fine. 2-5 success. You're good at this. And you are alone, so you got him in a room where no one was allowed to be in, so you don't have any risk of people seeing him. So yeah, you sink your fangs into his neck. He does make like a little bit of a surprisingly high pitched kind of like squeal that you were not expecting.
Kieran's dad has got him feeling bad.
Yeah. But that's all, just like that noise, and then just kind of like gives into it. And you have
Yeah, he does.
successfully made
he
a new
does, yeah.
spawn. When you remove your fangs from his neck, Phil is looking a little bit paler, a little bit like kind of like wobbly on his feet. His
A little bit
eyes
Alexis.
his eyes have darkened,
Little bit.
and he suddenly looks very, very ravenous at you. And
he
he's
does.
looking at the fridge where all the blood is, and he just like books it over there and just starts like tearing and grabbing a bunch of the real ones, and not like drinking from the little straw, like just like ripping them open and like
No.
very messy.
Save me a strawberry cooler.
No. No. I command you to
But-
stop.
The,
We do not eat like this in
You whack him
under
on the
this
nose
roof.
with a newspaper.
I spray him with holy water.
oh. And he's like, and it does like sting a little bit, and he's like, "Ow! What the hell? I'm just so thirsty."
Yeah, you are, you bitch.
Yeah, you are.
He's like, "I mean, okay,
You
this is
drink like civilized vampire.
like a what now?"
A civilized vampire.
What I
Blair.
appreciate about your
Thanks.
daddy.
Okay, I know it's a Halloween party, and I know like obviously like Kieran's told me like you
Spray,
guys were
spray.
into this, but but don't you think
Holy
this is
water.
taking like you're LARPing like a bit far, dude?
Spray.
Ugh.
Spray.
Ow! Stop it, Jesus!
And,
And then that
name in
hurts.
this
Yeah, when he
house.
says that, then he clutches his own throat when he says that, like it hurt. It's like oh, and then
I
you
turn
see it
into
all.
a bat.
Yeah, you see it all. That moment hit him. He looks at you. He's like,
I'm a
Oh.
bat.
"Oh
I
my,
turn into a
oh,
bat.
oh."
Yeah,
No.
I'm a bat.
Is this like the first time that Paul is able to actually understand limoncello?
It's Phil,
Yeah,
by the
it's
way.
all
Phil,
Phil.
sorry.
Yeah.
Respect the name.
It's all
Sorry.
hit at once. He's like,
It's-
"I'm understanding this man. I've never understood. I just saw you turn into a bat. I just drank blood." He's like, it's his brain's. It's all now. Now he's having like an existential crisis, and he's like, "This, oh, oh. I mean, they did say stay forever. What did I think that means? Stupid, Phil. Stupid." And just starts being, but then looks down. And he's like, At least I'm in good shape. At least I'll be
Good.
hot forever."
Great shape. Stupid sexy Phil.
And he's like looking at you, and he's like, "So wait, are you? You're not his like dad then? You're like this. You're like vampire dad."
Blair.
Daddy too.
I'll go back into a vampire human.
Oh, okay. Well, what am I supposed to do? I'm so thirsty, and you can't. I'm not allowed to drink like this. And if I don't drink something
No,
real
you
soon,
like this. Just like this. And I show him how to drink like civilized vampire.
he very, very daintily picks it up and like very slowly like takes a sip from the little straw like part that comes out of the blood bag. And he's like, "Is this okay?"
Yes. Just like that.
And you see him like get a look of very confused, a lot of emotions cross his face at one time. And
Partial.
yeah, he's having a whole world of emotions going through his head right now.
I didn't think that limoncello was the DILF that all of us just wanted. So
Apparently.
wait, DILF or GILF? I don't know at this point because he is much
Great,
older
great,
than all.
great, 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 great DILF.
Dilf. Vampire, like,
Dilf.
fucking-
Dilf.
Yelf.
So
Howdy.
while Limoncello is training your new vampire in the kitchen, your new progeny who will now live with you forever.
Johnny
And
Daddy.
Casimir's living his best bat dreams. You're starting to go around and tell people about the costume contest. There's nothing really like a perception check, I think,
It's really not.
other than
Roll perception.
other than you like mind reading or empathy, I guess.
Yeah.
Because so I'd say Esther
Codependent.
or that, yeah. Roll a mind reading check for
Okay.
me while you're looking out at your now surprisingly busy party.
Hey, we
Oh,
had a
God.
$5 donation. Somebody, thank you.
Thank you for the
Woohoo!
donation.
Let me see if they've given you a D6 for that donation, because if they have, no, they've not. Oh, I know who that is. Thank you for the $5. Since I know who did the donation, if you're watching and you want to give or remove a D6 from anyone's roll, you can. Just let us
Or
know
if-
either in the chat or you can DM me because I know who you are.
Or if you want more limoncello daddy.
Well, I
Bleh.
Blah.
Bleh.
That is now the pickup line for the 2020s. Bleh.
Mika,
I just
you
want,
need
like,
to.
Fan art of like him on a shirt but making like some super like sexy pose, but then the caption just blah. But it's just like Limoncello looking all like thirst trappy.
Mika, we're just doing a bunch of content creation here solely for merch for Roll D5. And speaking of doing a huge success, I have 2 5s.
Nice.
Nailed
So
it.
as you're looking
Plus they are.
around at the costume contest entrance, and you're like, I guess we gotta have to pick someone. You start to also like probe into their minds a little bit because you're like, oh, maybe see there's someone who also put more work into their costume or is like more deserving versus someone, or you're like, maybe I want to try and find someone who made their costume instead of bought it. No shade, or someone who time and energy. Sometimes all I can do is buy my cosplays and not
And
make
that's
them. No shade.
perfectly
Just
valid.
saying.
Just for flair, if you read Kiara's mind while she's preparing for the costume contest, she's like, okay, I need to give a speech from the Barbie movie, and she starts thinking about Oppenheimer's "I am become death" quote. Barbenheimer all the way.
Amazing. Amazing. The person who is dressed as Van Helsing, you get in his mind and go, like, these are, even for us, these are weirdos. And you then like it just feels weird, and like he seems also the least under the influence. Everyone else here has had either a little bit to drink, maybe they've had some weed because that's illegal, maybe they've had some other less illegal things, or they're also just like vibing and they're in that more like party mode. This guy's mindset, it's like this is someone who's here like for work. This person feels like they are on alert. They don't feel like they're here for a party vibe. And so it makes you look a little bit closer at their costume. And then you see like the steaks that were probably thinking like, oh, like plastic cheesy steak. That is a very real, very wooden steak, actually, now that you look closer. And
Nailed it.
you then like take a quick whiff in the air. You also realize there is a faint smell of garlic coming from this person. You think all the TikTok live streams, the rumors, all the things that were weird going on at your party that got out on the internet has maybe attracted the notice of a very legitimate vampire hunter that is now at your party. And Mika, I have some bad news for you. We've had a $169 donation, bringing us to 500. So
Hey!
I'm sorry. Who?
Don't worry about it.
Who? Billy, was it you?
we've also had an anonymous $46 donation on top of that says, I get to use this to my devious heart's content.
Oh my god, Robertables is the one who put in the $169.
Is anyone surprised?
Roberta gets to tell us what's happening.
And yeah, Robertables, don't forget, you're also welcome to, with that roll, you can either add a whack load of D6s if you want. You can dictate for the remainder of the thing or you can like dictate a skill they have to use. If you have something you want to happen,
it's fine.
yeah, if you want something specific to happen to influence the game.
Oh my god. Hey, Micah, says Billy.
Mika.
Or Mika, sorry.
Say it right, God.
Are you gonna be okay?
I'm not getting this whole bottle. Like that's
Okay.
just that's
That
not
sounds
physically
like
possible.
defeatist attitude.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Is it good at least?
Just start drinking from the bottle for the rest of the one shot. We have an hour. You have an
Okay,
hour to
I'll
kill
do
it.
it.
Yeah,
Okay,
don't
okay.
do it all at once.
No,
Don't
do
die,
it all at
please.
once.
You have an hour to kill it.
Chug,
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 chug, chug, chug.
Oh no.
Your
Pretend it's
children
blood,
believe in
everyone.
you.
Pretend it's blood for the one
Your
shot.
children
Your
believe in
immersion.
you.
At one point, there definitely was during this party an upside down blood K.
Yeah,
We're doing keg
just
stands.
throughout the stream.
I was just
I
gonna
got
say,
that much.
That's a
Yeah.
lot. That's a lot.
Okay.
I finished my whiskey really fast, and I did things.
I am on an empty stomach. waiting for my food to
Oh
get here.
no.
I mean, I
You
had
are,
Fritos.
you are now only allowed to sip it throughout the stream, but also make the advantage add to any complication for the player. I mean, we have there is a veil in place, lines and veils for like police and police aggression. So we can't go. I don't think that would be in depth, but I have
Ghostbusters.
ideas. Yeah. Well, I mean, they've already Esther has just realized their antics have attracted a legitimate vampire hunters in their party. But yeah, who knows what else?
If we turn him, then he has to hunt himself, and it becomes an ethical conundrum. I can't believe I just said conundrum.
Weird conundrum
Weird conundrum.
because it's pride.
And I'm also a little.
I'll be here for an hour.
I'm also a little inebriated, so saying the word conundrum is a huge improvement for me. That's the wrong word.
Esther, what do you do with this information?
I got another one. I'm not going to say it though.
Is it gonna eat you alive though?
Maybe
If he's lucky.
a conundrum.
Ooh. Had a kid. Bring it in.
God.
We are way worse on Wednesdays. You're fine.
I think I would registering the smell of garlic, the immediate like fear of like everything just stopping, and it's like, well, shit. And
risotto.
And I'm gonna just grab Casimir and I just want to pull him away because I'm imagining since he's like inebriated.
Why are you trying to save the guy we're trying to kill?
I know, like, are we gonna be liable if we let someone else kill him at our party?
Are we not on the same side here, Esther? I feel like there might be 2 murders tonight now.
I don't want to draw more attention, so I don't know if Casimir saw the vampire hunter.
Absolutely not.
Okay, good. So
he's still flying around, all but saying, "I am a bat," while flying over people's heads.
He's just going up to random people saying, "I am vampire," and you can only say it he's drunk for so long because look at him, he's a vampire.
I want to do crowd control, so I want John, my raven, to basically go collect Batman Casimir just to take him somewhere else. Just for now.
All right, he is going to actually. You know what? There should be like a role for minion handling. I'm gonna maybe make my own rule and add it.
I'm gonna be handling my minion later.
Oh God.
Make an artistry check for me, because we're gonna say it's the artistry in how well have you trained your raven, and for the raven to basically somehow herd/tackle an inebriated bat and get him somewhere.
Would Atticus, my lunar moth, be able to help Esther's raven at all?
Yeah, maybe the Atticus, because it's a bat. Bats eat bugs. And sees the bat as like the bat distraction. It's like the moth is the bait, and you're basically gonna try and get Casimir another part of the house. So yeah, so add an additional d6 for the help of Atticus.
Okay, so
Bears, bats, Battlestar Galactica.
So Bears, that's gonna be four dice. So 3
and do you have any bonds that apply? Either of you? I see a puppy in Mika's background.
I do have a bond with Esther. I have Esther is the most fun at a party.
Is the most fun?
Wow,
That's
you called that one wrong.
Also, so you can use the dice because this is the time that Esther's fun. To you, this is the first fun thing Esther has done tonight because you're like gonna try and trap Casimir somewhere in your house as a bat. So sure, add an additional d6 for that
Okay.
mod.
So
Turns
then
out
it's
all
I
we
feel
need
like
was a
maybe
metal bowl.
like it's like I will make Esther have fun at this party.
Yeah.
So that it's a total of 5. 3 for my
Yes.
artistry, 1 for the support of the lunar moth, and then 1 for the bond that I'm apparently fun now. So it's
Yes, because I will say this is. Decide if it's a moderate or an advanced.
Like Esther's like,
skill.
oh my god, we have to get the bat, and
I'm gonna say
Sarah's
it's an
like, yeah,
advanced-
I'm down for that. Let's send him
It's an
out. Send him
advanced
in.
skill, so you'll need 3
Advanced?
successes. Yeah, because
Okay.
this is like some tandem, like pretty significant animal minion coordination. Also, you're dealing with someone who is inebriated off of you don't even know what substances, so you can't predict how he'll react at any time.
Okay, gotcha.
Turns out it's peanut butter whiskey.
Yeah.
All right, here
And
we
Peanut
shrooms.
go.
butter whiskey time.
Peanut butter whiskey time.
Way up, way up,
Ooh,
way up.
okay.
And there you go.
I actually got 3 success.
You lie.
English. I have 3 successes.
Are they 5s or
Success.
6s?
Blah.
2 of them are 5. 1 of them is a 6.
Okay. So the plan works. The moth becomes bait, and the bat starts, rather than like trying to jump scare people and swoop over heads, he's now chasing the moth. And in doing so, then the raven is basically the moth is luring him upstairs to the your walk-in closet in your room.
Yeah.
But whenever the bat gets distracted, the raven, like John's there to kind of like swoop and veer him back to like keep his attention on the moth. And
Yeah.
they're doing this like tandem game. And anyone else watching at the party is like, well, this is kind of weird, but this is fucking cool. Maybe thinks it's like, you hear someone go, dude, that projection mapping is sick. And they think it's like you've done some fancy projection mapping for aesthetic and for the vibes. And they get Casimir lured upstairs, and then as he flies into your closet, John manages to do a quick enough, and Atticus gets at first, an aerodynamic swoop, and the breeze from the swoop shuts the closet door. So you've now trapped Casimir in the closet upstairs to keep him away from the vampire hunter for now.
Did you
and
say
hope to try and do some
John?
damage.
Yeah,
John's the name of the raven.
Yeah.
John is the name of the raven? I thought we
Yeah.
had John Mayer at our party.
No.
Damn, I was hoping.
So, seeing the moth actually come up now, I want to frantically look for Kiera, just to be like, we have a serious problem, dear.
Kill him.
Sorry, I missed that. One more time. What was it?
No, it's just like seeing the lunar moth. Esther's gonna come racing over to try and find Kiera and just simply say, "We have a situation, dear."
I'll say I think that Scooby Doo slut is going to win the costume contest.
There is a vampire hunter here.
But if she wins, we can keep her with us forever.
That's true. Vampire named Hunter? Because there was like one poofy looking one around here
Ah.
somewhere.
Hunter, I miss Hunter.
I do too. Where
Such a-
they?
Such a nice
Hunter
young
was
man.
the best. What happened to him?
I think he burned himself in the
He
sun or
went to
something.
New Zealand.
Oh,
Oh,
New Zealand.
That'll do it. It's not a
That'll
good place
get
for
you
vampires.
something.
No, I just love the polar dynamics here. Oh my god, he burned in the sun. No, he just moved. He just wanted a new location. It's
New Zealand has like a high UV rating, so he probably did burn up in the sun in New Zealand.
Ah,
Yeah.
god damn it. No, he.
He did a
Well-
walkabout.
I also love the dynamic of like Esther being like, "There's a vampire hunter," and then 3 people are just like, "Oh, we miss the vampire hunter. Hunter was such a good vampire."
Amazing.
He was the best.
No, a legitimate.
Pour one out
hunter.
for our homie.
A legitimate hunter
Put one out for our homie.
with steaks and garlic and God knows what other weapons he has in his little armament. We are in serious trouble.
Wait, he's got arms?
Wait, like an
God.
actual vampire
We all
hunter?
have arms, don't we?
Is he like, or is he just dressed up as one? Because there's people here that look like that guy from that movie, who looks like Hugh Jackman.
Mhm. He is
God,
real.
Hugh Jackman, I'd turn him.
Oh God Almighty!
I tried to once.
Oh, how'd that go, Daddy?
He wooed me.
Oh,
And I just
Fun
could not
fact:
do it.
where you tried was one of the times he was in town for the Toronto International Film Festival, and you got tickets to one of the screenings.
Ryan
I
Reynolds
just
too.
I could not
Ryan
take
Reynolds
him
turned
from
me
the
though.
world.
You know what I'm
from the
saying?
World. I can't say world.
Can you
I
say
could not take that gift from them.
Ryan Reynolds turned me?
Oh God! Look,
Not to a
There-
vampire though.
there is an actual vampire hunter here. An actual
The
vampire
closet was
hunter.
glass.
Mm-hmm.
But that's
I'm
illogical,
sorry.
Esther. How would they have gotten in? They weren't invited.
It does not matter. When all of this chaos has been going around, people have been inviting themselves into the home anyway, which means anyone could be putting themselves.
Wait, I
here.
thought people couldn't come into our houses unless they were invited.
That
no,
is the
no,
other way
that's the
around
other.
it.
Oh,
no,
that's
Kieran,
right.
we're not allowed in other people's houses.
Well, that's just good manners anyway. You don't go in if you're not
See,
invited.
I agree with that. I agree.
Who raised these people?
I think the
I
sun is
swear.
starting to become a welcoming thing at this point. Listen, I have Casimir tucked away upstairs so that he, as a higher end powerful member of our group, however you would like to put him, is not found. So we need to get this bastard out of the house.
Is he hot?
Yes, is he
I-
hot?
I am not a judge of character in that. I don't particularly.
That's not the
pertain in
character
any
I'm
of that.
looking at right now. I'm looking at the outer wrappings.
He
Is
has
he
a
hot?
he
What
has
would
a
Hunter-
very
what would
very
Hunter do right
uncanny
now?
resemblance to Hugh Jackman.
Dibs.
What would Hunter do right now?
WWHD.
Kieran, what if he's like, oh, negative? I thought you only partook in be positive.
I partake in no negative.
You know, I like the wine, not the label. So it doesn't matter what he is. If he's hot, I'll take him in.
As you say that, a now not drunk on other substance, but a blood drunk Phil comes up to you and goes,
Oh,
"Damn
God.
straight," and like puts his arm around you and is looking at you
Whoa.
very lasciviously.
Phil.
He's like, "So by the way, when does this party end?"
Soon, but it turns out we might have a little problem. How do you feel about a three-way?
I am so there.
Oh,
And he
Well
looks
then.
at Limoncello while
I-
as you said that.
nope, not daddy. But I do love making.
Nope.
Not
I do love
daddy.
making. I do love making
Nope.
connections. But not daddy.
But he's not your like biological daddy, right?
No. But
At
there's
this
Then it's
point,
fine.
Wait a minute.
No.
Can like Kira and I and Kieran, can we tell about like changes and stuff to Phil at this point?
Oh yeah, it's very obvious. Phil is a vampire.
What the fuck did you do,
And he has
Limoncello?
like the fledgling like
So
new
it's-
vampire that's blood drunk, where they drank so much because they didn't realize like feeling satiated as a vampire feels different from feeling full as a human,
Yeah.
and they didn't realize they were fine, so they kept drinking. And it's much like how when like someone drunk on alcohol, but a little bit different. It's
Yeah.
not so much they will like make poor choices as more as they are slowed, their reflexes are dulled,
Mm,
but all like and impulse control is very low.
gotcha.
Esther, I'm going to ask you that no matter what happens in all this right now, to not be a little bee, okay? We might have to kill 2 people. We might get to turn another person. We might get to turn a
Right.
whole bunch of people. But just let things happen. Like, be cool for just 1 goddamn minute, okay?
Hmm.
I feel like I don't have friends. I think I might turn some of the neighborhood fathers.
Oh, that's a good idea, Daddy.
Yeah.
It's a wonder you've been able to last this long with the little schmeckle on your artwork, Kieran.
Why are you looking at my schmeckle? Are you interested?
Kieran,
No.
in Esther's defense, it is plastered in almost every room in the house.
I've done a lot of drinking.
Phil's just
And-
gonna look at you, whisper in your ear, "I like your schmeckle," and then like almost fall over because he tried to like lean over and whisper, and he leaned too far. And he's like, "Oh." And he, like,
Oh, Phil, and I'll catch him. We're It depends on if we're using the metric system or imperial measurements, really, as far as whether or not it's large or average or small.
This is a problem. Phil.
No, this is average. Oh, we're not
Not-
talking about that anymore.
No. Phil being new, a new fledgling, is going to draw a lot of attention. You, Kieran, need to bring him upstairs and keep him with Casimir.
Oh, gladly. Daddy, do you want to come? Not like that, but to help with Casimir.
Yes.
Okay, let's go. Phil,
Yeah.
and I'll give him a smoldering look. Let's go upstairs.
And he's gonna be like, "Yes, Daddy. No,
No,
here, Daddy.
that's wrong. That's wrong.
Wrong. Yes, sir." And try and now recover and be like hot, and it's failing miserably.
He'll
Getting
just
your
take your
family
clothes off.
No,
and let's
it's be
go.
hot.
Bleh.
Oh,
Blah.
nope.
He does terribly.
We'll talk about it with our clothes off. Let's go.
Getting family involved and then different titles.
Use
of king.
protection. Use protection.
He's gonna be like, "What do vampires use for protection?"
Sheepskin.
What normal people use for protection? Sheepskin. Sheep intestines.
Oh God.
I mean,
got
there's a
worse.
fresh batch in the other room. Just
wrap it. Just peel a layer off.
All right, that's maybe one part of this. Like, I'm not down with.
It's fine, Phil. We'll work it out.
Okay.
All right. Now that the three of you are
Our
doing
furniture is reinforced.
I want to look over at Kira. It seems like the two of us are the only ones who could get this bastard out of the house, while those three do whatever it is they're going to do upstairs.
Definitely agree we need to get him out of the house. But can it wait till after the costume contest? Because, like, I kind of had a big speech prepared for, like, the costume contest. And, like, I'm not saying priorities are, like... I mean, think, like, we can't just throw someone out, Esther. That would literally kill us. Like, socially, it would kill us. This party's on a hit, and we're not going to bring it down.
No, but you did give me an idea. I think I know exactly who's going to win the contest. Not you.
Is the monster match
Yes.
still going on repeat?
No, at this point,
Phil made
at
the
this
sound
point,
back.
someone Phil made that weird one. At this point, some music students took over for a while, and there was like super indie hipster bands playing for a while, and then now as it gets later and later night, we're basically like minutes away from midnight. People are like, no, they want those party vibes, so it's like Skrillex, Sandstorm. It's like super bassy, dubsteppy, like EDM shit that's now playing.
Until you hear, oh, everybody was kung fu fighting.
Oh my god. And yes, Robertables, I actually do like Fireball. Thank you.
Basically, it's a free for all, and random party guests are like hijacking the laptop until they get bored, and then someone else hijacks the laptop and puts something else on. So it is a free for all musically right now.
All right. Look.
Fair, our DJ just got turned.
So, Kira, I know you had a whole speech prepared.
Don't ask me to do it, Esther. Don't. I know what you're going to ask me to do. Don't ask me to do it. Don't you dare ask me to lower myself to a different social ring.
The fastest way to get him out is to put all of the attention on him, and maybe, just maybe, he is uncomfortable enough to leave. I already heard your 20 different speeches you were going through of the Barbie movie.
You're asking me to give attention to somebody else. And I just don't know if I can.
There's plenty of time, dear. We're immortal, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Unless you go to New Zealand.
You go to New Zealand. Okay, but just know what I'm giving up for you.
Yes. All 20 of the different speeches that you had prepared, I remember.
And they were all equally great.
we'll go with that. And I think I'll like gesture towards Kira to like go towards. I'd imagine there's like a table with like at least a few chairs that are like set up, so there's like a fake judges table so that the two of us could like sit there and then have people like go one at a time,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Now Kiara's just, I used to flow.
Very much like as people are like coming up, she's like absolutely as like people are coming up, they're like, I haven't been like I used to flow.
It's crying a little bit.
Also, while they're lining up, one of the
I was
statues that was scaring people
grateful.
gets off and joins the contest because they're like, I spent hours on this body painting. Like, I want something for this.
Esther,
And
Esther, the fucking help is getting
They-
involved.
Do they look like the statue of David? Yeah.
it's very
Naked?
similar.
Are they naked? That's what I'm asking.
Oh god.
No, they have like the
Are they rock
like
hard?
fabric just loosely wrapped, draped, like appearing to be loosely draped, but it's really like pinned in place, and it's a secure garment, but
Look at their
giving the
skin.
illusion of it like just ever so barely resting on them.
Does the
Okay.
vampire hunter get in like the area where the judging is happening?
He does, but he doesn't get in line with it. Like, he put his name on the costume contest just to like be looking for it, but he doesn't actually, now that you're lining people up, stand in the line. He's trying, you see him trying to like get to the back of the crowd.
Can I try to like be like, no, you have to be in the line, okay? If I have, you have to just be in the line over here, like kind of like aggressively, but in a way of like hysterics. Don't talk to me right now. Just do what I say. Get in the line. Like pull him into the line.
You can make, if you would like, a blood work check, because that is you literally almost
That
like
is-
blood bending a la Avatar, and you almost like pull
Oh,
him
God.
towards there and almost like make him start to walk over there on his own.
Just boil
I
his
have
blood.
blood- his blood.
as my thing.
Just boil his blood, and then just stop him right there.
That'll just kill him. That's the one that I have a +3 to.
Oh my god!
I didn't know what it was, so I was like, I don't know what it is, but just in case I get it. So do I roll for that, or
Yeah, you roll whatever your blood work number is.
I want to
ooh, that's a 1 on the dice, so +3 is a 4 total.
No. You get to roll 3d6.
No, you roll 3 d6s.
Oh shit!
And,
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
and
Okay,
then
so that
you're
was a
looking for
1.
5s or 6s on
So you
those
can roll 2
d6s.
more.
Yeah.
That's
do
a
better.
6,
Do
Okay.
better.
and that's a 4. So the highest was a 6.
Okay, but a 6 is a magnificent success, so I will give it to you. So
Perfect.
he, like, you basically, without him realizing what's happening, like, pull him. He kind of almost walks over there a little bit weirdly, and he looks confused because it wasn't 100% of his own volition. But the party guests just write it off as, oh, he's probably been drinking. So he's like Jack Sparrowing it with his gait right now.
Me too.
And he gets in line, but you do realize he then looks at you, and now his eyes are, and it looks like he has now surmised, okay, I was brought here by the antics of this other person on live, but now knowing what just happened to him, looks at Kiara. He is now pretty confident there's at least one more vampire here, and it's you.
Oh crap.
And he is standing in line as you go through and judge.
I know about the hunter, though, right? The vampire
Yeah,
hunter?
you all know. You were all told.
I'm going to fucking assassinate this bitch.
Oh my god.
My sister is at risk. I'm going to...
You're upstairs having happy fun times
No.
with Phil and
I mean, yes, we went upstairs, but I love my family more than anything. That's my unexpected mental and emotional strength. I'm not going to leave my sister in danger, even though
My
she is annoying sometimes.
Oh my gosh,
my
Kieran!
children, they saved me. I will protect them.
I'll just tie Phil to the bed and then walk away from him.
I can imagine Phil
He's
just being
into it.
stuck there. Hello? Guys?
We'll blindfold him
Anybody
and put
coming
on
back?
some white noise.
I need to pee.
That's
My
Mel
little
projecting.
moth like lands on him, and he's like, "Something's on me."
Part of the foreplay. Just run with it.
as you leave, Casimir, who is still in that room, shapeshifts back into a human form, but now it's like the high is coming down and he's getting like a really tired, really sleepy. So as poor Phil is tied up there on the bed, Casimir just kind of curls up next to him and goes to bed and uses Phil as pillow. He's like, yes, this do nice, and he goes to sleep. So Phil is there with a sleeping Casimir, like drooling onto his chest.
Hopefully Phil doesn't have those new vampire farts. Those are the worst.
I have not heard of that in the lore. That's new.
That's new lore.
That's the one that nobody talks
When you're
about.
freshly turned, you have those like getting the human out of your system, and it comes out through farts.
Oh, why can I
Weird.
kind of see
Farts
that?
are like the one
okay.
thing I do not find funny.
All right. So you have the vampire hunter in line with all your costume people. Kieran's coming back downstairs to be of assistance. Who do you pick as the winner for your costume contest? If you need a recap of the other options,
Nope,
feel free to let me
definitely
know.
Van Helsing boy to
Yeah.
get him the fuck out of the house.
Absolutely Van Helsing.
Like the mindset I had was like oh my god, you won! Like the vibes and stuff that usually come out when like somebody wins a big contest, and everyone would just kind of like swarm him, and it would be like just the hope of like he gets the fuck out. He doesn't want the attention on him. That's the hope, at least.
I almost want to say like if he wins, be like, okay, now it's time for your big speech.
Yeah, so you announce him as the winner. People in the audience applaud. Some people lined up look a little bit bitter. The Baldur's Gate people in particular, not so much the Astarian one, but like the Shadowheart and the Karlach, who like handmade some of their like elements out of like.
You didn't say Karlach. That's why I told them they lost, because they had no Karlach.
That's true. I was say they had Gale, Shadowheart, and Astarian. So the Shadowheart in particular looks pissed. The Astarian and the Gale less so. Yeah.
They come up and ask for critique, and we just look at them and say, "Go away."
So then you announce him as the winner. People are clapping, and he just like looks pointy. He goes, "And my prize?" You said it's a contest.
Right. You get to be
Daddified.
the DJ for the next song.
He just looks, are you fucking kidding me?
Are you disappointed that a contest that didn't have a specific prize is not the prize that you wanted?
He's gonna walk towards it. He's like, all right, this is taking too long. And he's gonna like go to like whip back and pull out a stake. And he's gonna like, looks like he's about to come towards you. But then as that happens, all of a sudden, you swore you wanted those blood sprinklers so bad. And they told you no. Yet somehow, right out of like a scene from Carrie, all of a sudden, just bucket of blood dumps over the vampire hunter, completely destroying his costume. He is covered, and he's like, what? Oh, God. And then your front door, your windows all burst open, and so a group of 5 individuals like roll through, all dressed in very, very like cliche, cheesy, like vampire-y outfits, and just go, you thought you could get away with this? You recognize it is a rival vampire coven who wanted your house in the very first place when you first moved in here 100 years ago, and you got the house and they didn't, and they were forced to go somewhere else, and you know that they have wanted your turf for a long time, and your last conflict with them was about like 20 years ago or so. You thought they'd finally given up. They'd maybe move somewhere else. You heard for a while maybe they'd gone to Montreal. They'd left Toronto entirely. But nope, they're here now, and they're like, we saw you're having this party. First you take this house from us, then you think you can take the whole neighborhood from us? Are you kidding me? This is unacceptable. And then one of them walks over.
I'll tell you what's unacceptable. Underbidding on a Victorian 4-bedroom. We will not be held liable for this.
And then, so the one that bursts through like the window is gonna shapeshift into a bat quickly to just fly over the crowd, go to where the DJ table is, and he's gonna put on some super, super overly loud, very bassy music. He's like, "We're settling this the old way, the real way vampires do things." And they all look at you and just yell, "Dance battle!" And everyone else in the audience, like your party goers, like now think this is like a skit or like a performance,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Yeah, dance battle,
Immediately,
dance battle," and they
I'm gonna
form
threaten
like
one
the
of them with a
circle.
blood.
Yeah, they form a circle. The vampire hunter, still covered in blood, now is looking at. He's like, "What?" And he looks overwhelmed. He's like, "Now I have so there's too many targets. I don't." Nah. But then as the crowd's forming the dance circle, he starts getting like pushed back, and he's caught up in like the big crowd of people. And he seems to be, for the moment, he can't really. You have a few minutes before he is a threat again, as he is being like moved by this crowd. Also covered in very thick, viscous blood that does not smell fresh at all, and you have no idea when they broke into your house and had that there and for how long.
Yikes.
You have been asked to dance battle by this rival coven.
I'm so down. So believe it or not, this is one of the warmest welcomes I have received so far. Yeah, Kieran's definitely down for a dance battle. He's watched Save the
Lemon
Last
Flow.
Dance so many times.
Of course he has.
Okay, they
Lemon
start
Flow's
the
just
dance
making
battle
it
though,
fine.
and you say dance battle, and they say it's like the real way vampires do it. They start doing like, very a la almost like Bridgerton, Pride and Prejudice, where it's like, no, this is a dance because when you were all born, it's like everyone knew steps to certain dances, everyone danced the same. They start doing like perfectly choreographed, like some sort of like jig step like dance that definitely does not has not been seen for probably 200 years. But that's the dance they start whipping out, and they're doing it very, very perfectly, like footwork flawless. Looks like it'd be right out of some sort of period drama on TV. Immaculate.
Has anybody ever seen The Umbrella Academy?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm gonna turn to Kieran and I'm gonna say, I think we got this. I'm gonna
Oh.
go to where like the music is, and I'm gonna unplug whatever aux cord is playing their song. I'm gonna plug it into my phone, and you're gonna start hearing.
Your phone's the newest iPhone 30. There's no headphone jack
Oh,
on that
that's
thing.
totally right. I'm gonna hook it up to the Bluetooth.
There you go.
I was just gonna say, you got a dongle for that?
Yeah,
Whoa,
right.
whoa, whoa.
Hate that it has that now.
I have the dong. Cool.
Actually, you know what? I'll turn to Kieran. If I unplug the aux cord, the music just goes silent. I'm gonna turn to Kieran and I'm gonna say, Kieran, my dong.
Gull. Dongle. Dongle.
That's what I said, Esther.
I thought we were going to do the dance from Ross and like Monica from Friends first.
Do it. Yes.
In
Yes.
the- yeah.
That's the music.
The crowd definitely seems less on board with the dance battle when they realize these rival vamps are doing like a very like Regency era ball dance and not like, crumping or breakdancing or doing some hip hop or contemporary something.
We have to build up to it, people. God, we don't just jump right to the Julia Stiles dance.
So are you doing your response is the Ross and Ross and Monica dance
New
from
Year's
Friends
Eve, New
first?
Year's Eve dance. Yep.
All right.
Slaps in the.
What can I make you roll for that? Roll innocuous. Kieran, roll codependence for me because you
I
have
don't
to do
know
it with
if-
your sister.
I don't know if this is the same, what it actually means, but one of my skills is beats.
Yes.
So
Add a d6 for beats to
what
his
about
codependence roll.
What
a
about my
sentence.
bond? Which of my fellowing Draculas comes to me for advice? Would this be something that would fall in that?
Sure.
Okay,
So it's codependence plus a d6 from your bond plus a d6 for Kira's beats skill.
Ooh. Okay, that's not good. Okay, I mean it's terrible. 1, 2, 3, 5.
Ooh. Out of curiosity. Hold on.
I should have used different dice.
you used a cursed dice, damn it.
Oh no.
Damn it, Daddy! Why didn't I use the dice you gave me?
Okay, so when you roll a 1, it says it's only if 4 effects or more are added to a power, so you're fine. You avoid a blowback from the blowback table, we'll say, because that was only 3 effects to a
No,
power.
I rolled 4 total. I had 2.
But effects, yeah, because 2 of those dice are
Okay.
from 1 effect, so you're fine.
Gotcha.
So you do the dance.
I blocked my
Again,
Achilles.
you can choose. Well, again, you can choose to just fail, nothing happens. Success with minor complication. Success with major complication.
Of course,
What
I'm
do you
going to go
choose?
success with major complications.
Right.
I'm going to keep the
So
theme.
you you do your Ross and Monica dance. The part where one of you jumps into the other's arms, and then they're like stepping and hopping and things, right? There's now a lot of like tremors and vibrations on the floor of your house, which is very old. It has now woken up the sleeping Casimir upstairs.
Oh.
And so you do your dance, great, but he comes downstairs to see what's going on, and he sees the dance battle happening, and he's like, "This is the tradition of my people. I need to get involved." But then he also smells, like the 2 buckets of blood on the vampire hunter, and you see him while you're doing your dance. He is going to shapeshift into like a dog, like a wolf-like dog, and leap onto the vampire hunter, and is now trying to attack the vampire hunter while he's like trying to hold him off from getting any vital organs while this dance battle is happening.
Kill them both, Daddy.
Oh, this is perfect because was trying to say I snuck behind the vampire hunter, so
Mm-hmm.
this might be the right
But you see
opportunity for me
this.
to kill them both.
Oh, well, what do? You see this happen.
First, I'm going to try and help kill the vampire hunter
Okay.
with rabies as a bat. No,
The long drawn out death.
I don't know.
We call that the slow death.
I don't think I have anything that would work for this.
Again, you can use any other vampire's ability. You just get
I
less
mean, you're
dice.
also really freaking strong. You could just probably snap his neck.
I mean, yeah, I'm going to use horror.
Yeah, that'll work.
Phantom of the Opera comes on.
That's what threw off my dance was the change of music.
That's what the rival vampires put on after, towards the end of your dance for their next dance. They put on Phantom of the Opera.
Yes, as I go in to bite. Right now, I go in to snap his neck while he's busy with the wolf. Just with my 2, 5, and 6.
Oh, there you go. So as you do that, snap his neck. Again, crowd looking at dance battle, and he was pushed to the back of the crowd. So you guys luckily are at the back, but you easily, especially as the oldest vampire in this whole building, snap his neck with ease. Vampire hunter, not a problem. Casimir is now on his body, just like licking up all the blood that was spilled on him, and now the fresh blood from the vampire hunter, where he managed to land some bites. Not looking at you.
Finish him.
And now I'll finish him with
Undertaker style.
steak. With the other steak. That's in the pocket of my apron.
The meat
As I
steak?
bring this out. Yeah. No, a wooden steak.
Oh, wooden steak?
Yes.
Ribeye!
Well, because he's a dog, and they're like, here,
Steak that's
doggy,
in
and
my
then you might
pan.
try and like feed the dog the meat, and he would die. Okay, wooden
Do you
steak.
think that would work?
I don't know.
Feed him just a bag of chocolate.
Oh God.
You just roll. Well, it's like all the blood and the like feral energy in the room. He might be too dumb to notice that he starts eating it, or he thinks it's
Yeah.
just like human flesh, which sometimes vampires have a little bit of. Because sometimes some vampires get messy with their feeding, you
I
know,
got-
and that happens. But like just meat from like a cow or something, no, you can't have that.
Yeah, I got 5 and 2 4s. So
Okay. I was like,
whichever way I do this.
Well, again, you can choose to fail or succeed with minor or major complication.
Succeed with minor.
Okay.
Major.
So
Nope, major. We're going major. This entire
Okay.
stream.
so
Major.
you do it. You stake him, and you again, you know exactly where to even transform. You know exactly where to hit. But the major, you turn around and see. You hear a shriek in the crowd, and there is someone who is like one of those absolute animal loving, has like a PETA button on her costume, like a diehard vegan animal rights activist who has now seen what they think is you killing a dog. And
It had
is
rabies. It killed that
crying.
man. Even though she can't understand me.
Yeah, she can't understand what he's saying. She's just like, and just like making incomprehensible noises.
Can
I'm trying
I?
to She'll like it.
She runs out of the party like wailing, like runs out the front door, just sobbing, shrieking down the street.
Anyone else paying attention to her though?
No, but she did snap a picture of the murdered dog before she ran away.
Fuck.
Of me with the
Meanwhile,
murdered
back
dog
in this
or just
dance
the murdered
battle,
dog. He turned back into
the
a
murdered
vampire,
dog
though,
with
right?
you going in the picture in the background. Meanwhile, back to the dance battle. So the rival ones are now doing more like some like Broadway stage choreography to the Phantom music, while having someone dramatically like doing almost like a Phantom Christine like lip syncy duet moment like with the dance or with the dancing in the background, and especially with the vibes, the Halloween vibes, the crowd is very much rooting for them. Like you're losing this dance battle right now.
I think we need to put on "It Takes Two to Make a Thing Go Right." I want to rock right now.
I want to rock right now.
Actually, Trogdor the Burninator that starts playing now.
Trogdor, yep.
Tractor.
You
Esther,
burn this house down. Burninate this house down. Sorry.
Esther kind of has this moment of like, oh shit, I have to do something, don't I? And she'll look over towards Kira and she'll be like, you are more adept to the popular music today, yes?
Thank you.
Put something on.
Like anything?
Mm-hmm. Something
Bridgerton.
vibrant. No.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
I will put on the song of the humans.
Which is
And I'm going to
Gangnam Style
go.
again?
Which is gorillas.
I'm going to go to the aux chord and I'm going to put on Gangnam
Oh,
Style.
Gangnam Style.
and do the whole dance, the whole
The
music video
whole-
impeccably.
Actually,
Opam Gangnam Style.
considering that Esther is more of like the artist out of the whole group, she probably
Dare
would have
you, first of all?
she would have probably been more inclined to watching like different like documentaries on TV. And for some reason, like the one thing that clicks in her mind is actually ballroom dancing with voguing.
Oh, fun. I'm here
So,
for this.
having like the hip hop beats and stuff and like seeing like how the whole room is like starting to go with the song, she'll start actually doing voguing. And my argument for that is to do artistry with it.
Yes.
So, kind of like just
Put on Madonna.
no, just like, arms are flailing, like
Like a
whoa,
virgin.
having Megan knees and shit where I personally can't do it, but Esther definitely could.
So I say we're gonna do for this one. I
Gotta act
say
it out now.
yeah, Esther roll artistry, and we're gonna do 2 separate rolls, and Kiara roll beats at the same time, and we'll use your combined total of successes. The 2 of you.
Okay, I like that better. I was gonna ask if I could help with like hypnotism or anything, but I like the dual roll.
I like the idea of like maybe her hearing the music on delay, and so she's off just a little bit, It's like karaoke, but you can't hear the music right.
I'm just trying to think.
So the beats is my +2, so I roll.
So you roll 2
dice.
d6s.
2d6.
Yep.
That's a 5 and a 6.
Hell yeah.
Hey!
I have 2 5s and a 4.
Hell yeah. So, but between there's something about this combination of like the classics. You get people in the crowd who are joining in with the Gangnam Style because they know the moves, but then also this like unique, this like very graceful, elegant woman who has been kind of like party mom to a lot of the guests, was the vibe. They're getting like the cool mom, but now is like in this dance battle. And there's sort of these weird, like uncanny valley. These 2 things shouldn't work together, but they are, and it's a vibe. And also just as party hosts, the crowd is completely now like you're swayed to you. They're cheering you on. Some are joining in with you. You also then get a bunch of people. Your house is located somewhat near the gay village in Toronto, and you've had a bunch of people from like queer community show up towards the end of the night because they started it somewhere like, they maybe went somewhere like Cruise and Tangos first. They're gonna come to your place and go back to like Church Street later. And they start joining you, and you have like background dancers, some like background gays voguing with you, but they're like still making sure you're the focus, and they're doing like a simple but synchronized voguing routine behind you. And also, it turns out one of them from the TikTok lives happens to be a semi-renowned drag queen local to Toronto,
It's
and everyone will
nails
start
in our hip
recognizing
heels.
her. Yep. And
Yeah.
it's just you immediately win. Like the crowd goes wild. The rival vampires realize, oh, okay, yeah, we can't compete with that. We can't compete with the drag queens and their moves. We can't do it. So you have won the dance battle. And they've also people forgot about the costume contest because the dance battle has now just been like the highlight of the evening, and it kicks off what now just becomes like that room. The dancing now is the rest, like for the next few hours as the party winds down. Almost everyone is just like stays in the dance room. There's like a dance floor per se. There's just one room of the house, like a wing that was dedicated to dancing. And also all the statues who are like jump scares, like statues, are now just joining in. There's also like people painted like marble and stuff just dancing in the crowd with everyone else that stick out. People get out with their cell phone flashlights and are adding to like your one funky light that you had to try and make it kind of ravey. And now there's like almost a full like some sort of really weird rave vibe, but like unlike anything anyone's ever gone to before. And that continues for a few hours. Also gives you plenty of time to get the Casimir body and the vampire hunter body out while people are dancing.
I have a question.
Yes.
I realize I think I could have gotten an extra dice for that kill
Oh.
because one of my bonds is whose very existence is an insult to Dracula kind, and it's Casimir because I hate him.
Sure. Roll another one. If it's a 6, then that girl didn't take
It's
the
a
picture.
6.
All right.
It's a 6.
She still saw you kill the dog, but she did not take the picture, and that will not end up on the internet.
Yay!
Limoncello miming a dog murder over a dead dog.
Oh.
Which, by the way, technically, I realize now there was on the Lies and Veils or the harm to animals, but it wasn't an animal, it was a vampire. It wasn't a real dog. It's not a real dog. Dumb vampire.
We're
so
fine
yes,
with that.
you also have plenty of time during the peak of the dancing now to get those bodies out of the way before people start to head home for the party. Party starts to wind down, and all in all, you're getting, as people leaving, you get some compliments. You get people being like, so when's the next one? Like the gig, when's the next rave gonna be, or a theme night? You also get some invites to some other events happening in November. So you're thinking our goal of maybe, being, yes, the weird house on the street, but the cool kind of weird house, not the loner weirdos, maybe has succeeded. And you pulled it off somehow, despite the unexpected guests, his sabotaging, various things ingested that should not have been ingested, events of the evening. And you go to bed as the sun comes up.
But
Pretty
before
pleased with
that,
yourself. Yes.
I did promise my sister a Scooby snack.
You did.
Can I help her accommodate that somehow?
Yes, you can.
I can use either my hunter, which seems weird and wrong a little bit, or my disarming to help her.
I say you can use disarming, like to like the whole like lull her into a false sense of security. She thinks she's gonna go. Like maybe you get her to be like, "Hey, want to come see some of my artwork?" And you're actually like luring her into a room of just you, her, and your sister to have a snack.
Consensually, of course.
Consensually.
Yeah. Let's do that. So
I would say with like the I would probably ask like Levicello be like if Kieran gets Phil, I feel like if Scooby-Doo slut over there is cool with it, I want one too. Why don't we all just take a little souvenir? Esther got a kill. Esther got a dance.
Because
Esther got a
November is
win
November.
I was
I
just
don't know
gonna
if I
say I
can-
didn't beat on anybody.
No,
I
you
don't know if
didn't.
I can hold off
Esther
vamping
got a
all month.
dance. Zaddy got a kill. Kieran got a fill.
I got 2 kills.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a couple fills, if you know what I'm saying.
Time to sire.
If Scooby Doo Slut is okay with it, I am totally cool with her being changed.
I mean, you'd have to
And then we
make
can
a
then we can
roll
just
for that.
yeah,
then we can
can
just-
I?
spend all November like playing trade.
I would say so. You definitely have. Maybe I guess like Mika's making the roll for siring spawn, but then you can add a d6 from the disarm from Kieran, and I don't know what we have to add. Again, the only thing I
Well,
think
just
of, but it
because
would kind of be
Kieran-
questionable
Kieran
about the
saved me,
consent
I'm
part, so I don't
doing
know if
this-
that works.
Yeah, I don't want to add like hypnotism or anything because that makes
Well,
it.
I was like, you could add hallucinogenics, but then that gets really,
Nah,
that's really
nah, let's just-
uncomfy
Yeah,
territory. We don't
Let's
like
just make
that.
it a
but
straight.
can-
Yeah, let's just make it a
I'll
straight
add a
roll.
dice just because Kieran is in my connections.
Yes.
Yeah, the
Haven't saved
disarming
me.
wouldn't be. It would just be to help her feel comfortable, like
Yeah.
just to let. Hey,
Awesome,
we're not super scary vampires.
Yeah.
That's 2. Oh, hi balloons.
What?
I thought I turned that off. That's 2 6s, a 4, and a 1.
Hey.
Okay. You know what? Just because we didn't get to use one all night, and there was a 1, you will succeed. And she decides vampirism sounds
I
fun.
use a reroll.
No.
Damn
But
it.
what's gonna happen? I'm gonna roll on the blow. Oh God, I rolled that
But
off.
she's
the
gonna
table.
resent you like the
That
rest of us
doesn't
do.
count.
Like for the rest of
Okay.
Oh,
Nope, I rolled a 5, so it happens. So you successfully turn her, but then as soon as you turn her and use your power, Kieran and Limoncello, it's been a long night. You've used a lot of vampiric abilities. Sun's nearly up. Murder, turning, art, disarming, attempted murder. You also depose the exarch of your vampire society, and that power vacuum is going to have to be filled at some point. It's exhausting, and you suddenly just feel overcome with exhaustion and fatigue, and the two of you pass out, fall asleep, like
I love it.
can't even make it to your beds or your
Blah.
coffins, full swoon.
blah.
Only Esther and Kiara are left with the newly turned, I guess, unless you want to give her a vampire name, the Scooby Skank, because we never named her.
No, we like that very much.
Yeah, stank.
And you call her like find a nickname for short.
Oh God.
I was really hoping I'd roll the number where there's one where one of you switches minds with your minion, so you have a Freaky Friday moment upon turning her, and you all like, mix around.
That would be really confusing with my sister.
Yeah, it's been real rough. But anyways, so you've grown your coven. You threw a mostly successful, definitely memorable party, and you go to sleep. Some of you in your own bed when you intend to, others on the floor, passed out, not of your own volition. After a
100%
long
take
night,
Kieran. I feel like I totally like just drag Kieran up to his bed, put him on the bed, don't untie Phil, and then go back downstairs.
Yeah, by the way, as you pass out, because Kieran was like, I'll go get Phil after this. You pass out, and you all go to bed, and you just still Phil's going, hey guys, I gotta pee. Everyone has gone to sleep, and Phil will have to spend the day stuck there upstairs. And you wake up the next night excited for this new phase of your vampire life. Your coven has grown. You go see to poor Phil. He had a real rough day. You might need a new mattress. And you go to check your mailbox, and you just think you see some fan mail from new friends came to the party. But there was also something that you had desperately hoped to avoid, but all the antics that did end up on the internet, not enough. You also unfortunately have a letter that you're too afraid to open. You have to deal with another day that just has the familiar emblem of your local homeowners association on it. And you think that you have gotten in trouble.
I
And
guess
that
next we
is,
take out the HOA.
yeah, that is our Oops All Draculas session for today.
All HOA.
If we ever to return with the same group, it'll be your coven takes on the HOA. Next.
It's the real
True-
enemy.
just say the true
Hoa!
enemy.
Hola.
Oh,
thanks everybody for trying out a new system and for
Thank
also
you for
letting me
doing
try
it.
out a new system
Thank
that I
you.
had not played
That was
with.
so much fun.
Highly recommend anyone if you want something just super
Mhm.
silly but also campy. Recommend. It's a good time. I believe it's on like Drive-Thru RPG and various
yeah.
websites that you can find it for. Real reasonable. And there's another adventure coming up after this, after us. So stay tuned. Hang out
Stick
if you're
around for
having a
some
great time.
thirsty sword lesbians, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
We go from vampires to
vampires.
thirsty sword lesbians. What a great combo. We have a few minutes before it's our turn, so I think we all get a chance to real quickly also plug anything or reintroduce ourselves. If you guys ever want to come hang out on my own channel, some of the other games I run, both video games and tabletop RPG, Laura K483 on Twitch and various other things. And I will also be around on some more Tales of Initiative projects in the future.
Cool.
Stay tuned. Soon,
Cool.
TM.
Nice.
Thanks for hanging.
If we're plugging,
yeah.
sorry, just wanted to
Go.
plug a game I play it also on Mondays and Thursdays. It's the same campaign but two different parties, but same DM. It's on Wheel and Woe at Twitch. It's the WEAL Wheel and Woe, and you can find me personally. I'm Zelixacraft on TikTok, and look forward to hopefully doing more Tales things in the future. This was fun.
Oh, and also one more thing. I also am a player in a recurring campaign every Sundays on a channel called Dungeon Select, which is a lot of fun. We're not playing tomorrow because of some player illness, but usually every Sunday. Been playing for almost 6 years. Started out as random internet friends, and then the group just like showed up at my IRL wedding a few months ago. Wild internet things. We had a whole table of just D&D nerds at the wedding. It was great.
Hell yeah.
Anyways,
Hell yeah.
before we have to go, anyone else? This is the time. Share your projects.
Yeah.
Share your plugs.
Right now you can catch me also on the podcast, The Heart is a Dungeon, with Rara. We're on season 2 right now, and I play a Fae who is a Corvid who wears a scarf and smokes a cigarette, and his name is La La Lemon.
Love it.
Also, Roll D5, we're also raising money for the Trevor Project. Our next game is on Monday, where we're playing The Boyfriend in My Head Isn't Actually My Boyfriend, which is a GM-less
What a
game.
name.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That sounds like an anime title, and I'm here for it.
It
Mhm.
really does. Like novel directly to anime.
Yep.
Dustin, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, Sunset Over Bengali episode 100 coming up on July 3rd. So check it out. We're going to do some giveaways. We got some dice and some other stuff that we're going to have given away to, I think, multiple people. So Sunset Over Vengalia. Billy loves to remember that we are the longest running show on the stream, and it drives him a little crazy. But also all of us can see over the steering wheel of our car. So we're all really proud of that. I love you, Billy. You're amazing. Also, my entire crew is going to be at Gen Con. So we'd love to see you guys there. If you're going to be at Gen Con, you can see all of us and probably touch our beards or something. So make sure, other than Mel's, can't touch Mel's beard. Or Taylor's or
don't-
Haley's. Mhm.
Oh. I got it
We
now.
love you guys, and we're so excited. Thank you for being here and supporting the
Yeah.
Trevor Project and our 3rd annual Pride thing. Thank you for that.
And thank you for those that donated. We're over
Yeah.
halfway to the whole goal
Yeah.
as of the end of this one
Absolutely.
shot.
Yeah.
Coming in with the
I
folding chair.
drank half a bottle of wine.
And if anyone wants to see the same one shot but with new players and probably a very different direction it will go, I'm running the same thing for a different Pride thing next Saturday over on twitch.tv/pantsless tables for their Pantsless Pride event. It's gonna be fun.
Sounds like more fun. I like not wearing pants.
All right, thanks. I'm pretty sure we're gonna turn it over to your next and final adventure for today.
All right. Are we going to the after stream? Is that where we're heading now?
Nope.